high class. That feels weird. I don't think I've never taught anything. मैंने कभी कुछ पढ़ाया नहीं है. So really, if this goes badly, it's on you. So देखो, I don't have any. I've never taught, so I don't really know exactly what to say to you guys. So I would let you guys take the lead and tell me what would you like to know from me. I'm happy to share whatever it is that I've learned over the years. I'm happy to share it with you guys. So let's just jump into that.
So we've seen that marketing has changed over the last 5-6 years a lot. What are the good legacy brands that you think have adapted to these new techniques and have come up with new techniques in order to market their brands?
Yeah, a lot has changed in the last decade, I would say, ever since hyperconnectivity happened, right? Because our attention spans have become lower. There's actually a few things that have changed. Let's just look at that first. One, the modes of distribution have gotten decentralized. ठीक है, तो एक time पे there were just a few ways to communicate with the masses in general, right? There were like 10-20 players in the market who would control most of the communication. तो तुम्हारे TV channel पे इतने ही channels थे, hoardings इतने ही companies चलाते थे, newspapers, print media इतने ही companies थे. तो वो एक तो disrupt हो गया. Now anybody can be a publisher thanks to social media. Information has gotten disseminated. So this is the one major change. Second, what competes for attention has changed dramatically. Earlier, there were fewer modes of entertainment, whereas now everything is entertainment, right? तो एक dopamine threshold होता है हमारे दिमाग में कि क्या पढ़ने से हमको कितना dopamine मिलता है. वो अभी dopamine threshold इतना high हो गया है कि जो चीज हमें 10 साल पहले interesting लगती थी, वो अभी interesting नहीं है. ये comedy में भी ये सच है, right? Like 10 years ago, making a How many Punjabis are in the house? अरे यार तुम तो बड़े पटियाला पैग और ये वो अब उस पे उतना लाफ नहीं आता है क्योंकि हमारी डोपामिन थ्रेशोल्ड्स बढ़ गई है कि ये फ्रेश नहीं रहा है. So because of this, it's become harder to build brands because you have to have more bullseyes in order for you to start getting recognized, right? So you need to be consistently good over a period of time. This is the mistake that a lot of people make. जब मेरे को कोई brief आती है तो अक्सर brief में लिखा होता है कि तन्मय हमें viral ad बनाना है, right? Like ये हमारे हाथों में नहीं होता है कि क्या viral होगा क्या नहीं होगा. If you want to build a solid brand now, you have to be consistently good for many years. So there are a few brands that have stood out naturally who've been good consistently. You guys will obviously know them. In fact, we're a large enough sample size for us only to be able to guess. Like one of the brands that I really like is, I think Zomato has done a killer job over the last 10 years. But if there's one thing that stands out from Zomato, we'll all have a different answer, right? Is there something from Zomato that you've liked over the last 10 years? Tell me one thing. Minimalism. What else? Like एक कोई creative. Nobody has one particular, एक ही ये नहीं है. सबको अलग-अलग पसंद आते हैं कि उस टाइम पे उन्होंने ये बनाया था, इस टाइम पे ये बनाया था. What does that indicate to you? That they've just been taking more shots and more of them land on point, and that's why over a period of time you start liking it. And this fundamental principle of brand building hasn't changed over the years, right? What builds, like one of the things that builds a strong brand is, hey, there is a particular quality about you, and if you consistently deliver on it, like Zomato has been minimalist consistently. जो टाइप के होर्डिंग्स 10 साल पहले बनाते थे वो सेम अभी तक बनाते हैं, राइट? शाहरुख खान रोमांटिक हीरो था तो शाहरुख की रोमांटिक पिक्चर आएगी तो तुमको लगेगा कि ये ऑन ब्रांड है, ये तो मुझे देखना ही है. So that's actually still one of the keys of advertising, which is you pick a brand style and you're consistent to it. So that I think has become super key. The second one is, of course, the term I use is refresh rate, right? Which is things get boring a lot quicker, so you have to hit refresh. So the challenge is to stay true to brand while also reinventing yourself in like that is hard. So you need to define your broad playing area a lot more earlier on. I mean, but if you're a new brand, you can explore a little bit, you can see what works for you, and over a period of time you can decide that. So these are the last major changes I think in the last 10 years or so. It stands for both corporate brands and individual brands as well. Those are the folks that usually succeed. बाकी कुछ नहीं, फंडामेंटल तो सेम ही होते हैं, अलग होना होता है, you know, you need to be likable, you need to be consistent. These are things that play. Another major thing that has changed is that I think the lines between product and marketing have started blurring a little bit, right? Like it's no longer the case that तुम अच्छा ad चला दो और उसी से होगा. If the product doesn't reflect it, then it won't quite work. What are some of the brands that you guys have liked in the last decade or so?
Boat.
Boat. What do you like about them?
Like the design, it's quite nostalgic and it has those animations, so it's really good to see.
It's colorful.
Yeah, it's colorful.
D brand, which is a phone case brand.
D brand.
Yeah.
From the US. तुम हमारी बात करते ना? What do you like about them?
They're very they're unabashedly themselves, and they're basically very rude on social media.
They're rude.
So it comes out as funny. They're on the Wendy's side of.
Got it. Why is that interesting? Because they're rude on social media.
Because it's very refreshing to see a brand.
Exactly, right? Because they're different from what they usually do, and what other folks usually do. So when there is this is one of the. Okay, let's start from the basics. Okay, so I was just doing some quick research last night. Okay, about 1,000 ads are made, 1,000 video films are made a year. Right? Someone put out a blog post. They went through all the major films that were released last year, about 1,000. How many will you actually remember? You'll actually end up remembering less than 10. If you know 10 means you work in advertising. Otherwise, right? You know less than 10, right? So the hit rate is super duper low. So our aim is to make something that shows up in this. Right? That to me is a win. If you show up here, matlab entrance exam clear hogi bhai. Right? That is a win. So in order to show up here, you have to make something that does one of these two things. One is to create some form of engagement. अगर कोई वीडियो आप बनाते हो तो उस पे engagement से दिखता है कि कितने लोगों ने like किया है, comment किया है, how many people have engaged with the content. And the other one, which is the sweet spot, which is the bullseye, which is if you get someone to share. Right? If you get someone to share, that is one to many distribution. अगर मैंने share किया तो मेरे 500 दोस्त या 1000 दोस्त, depending on how popular you are, that those many people will end up watching it. So these two are the sweet spots. If you can get either two. The first one, if you engage with something, then the algorithm does the job of pushing it further. But if you get someone to share, that's the ideal spot that you want to be. Now, why does someone share something? Relatability, but even more fundamentally,
you want to look cool in front of their friends or just stand out.
So you want to stand out. Why? Yeah, we're in the zone. What else? Why else do people share?
Social validation that they are with the tribe, they are with the group.
They are with the tribe. That's interesting. So what's your name?
Anami.
Huh? Aname.
Yeah.
Oh, you're French. I didn't know that. Aname with the E graph or okay. So when you put something on your profile, what's actually happening in your brain is that you are building a catalog of things you've shared on your profile. So what you're really doing is you're building your own brand.
Yeah.
When you share, right? It's actually not so much about the content. It's about who you are. The internet is a bizarre place. We share relatable content in order to stand out, which is kind of a paradox, right? So what's really happening is that you're trying to signal that, hey, this is who I am. So in the many years of making stuff, some very clear signs have emerged of, hey, here are the type of things that people tend to share. Right? This is of course not a definitive list. I'm just putting it out there so it can get you guys thinking. So for example, I've observed that topical stuff is an easy bait to get people to share. Right? If something is topical, agar iski hawa chal rahi hai, then you kind of want to share that. What's the latest, right? Like Kohli hit a century yesterday. Everyone wants to have a hot take on what happened there. So I also put out, kal maine ek tweet maar diya. I was like, topical hai, Kohli ne century maar diya hai. So maine maar diya ki, I stopped watching the World Cup I stopped watching cricket after Dhoni won the World Cup. is the old I stopped watching ODIs after Kohli hit a century. Okay, मैंने take मार दिया कि अभी कोहली ने अगर सचिन का रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक कर दिया, मेरा हो गया भाई ओडीआई के साथ, अभी बंद कर दो, पैक कर दो, टाइम हो गया ओडीआई को गुड बाय बोलने का. It did decently well on Twitter, not because what I said was amazing. It's just topical. It's the shit that'll get shared right now. So if you have a take on something that everybody else is talking about, you are offloading the work, you're offloading the cognitive load of someone else to have their own take, right?
Yes.
Right? What you're essentially doing is, तू सोच मत, मैंने तेरा opinion मैंने बना लिया इसके ऊपर, तू यही share कर दे, right? Like I'm making your job easier for you. So something topical always works. People love a hot take on something that's currently the trend. What else do people share?
Cute stuff. Puppies, this, that.
Yeah. Why are they sharing that?
Spread positive.
To spread positivity, right? So people love sharing anything that's like hyper positive, right? It's just a break from the sadness that is the rest of the world, right? So hyper positive is something that always works. I remember at AIB social media team, I used to tell them, when in doubt, just be happy. When in doubt, bas cute ban jao. Yeah, arey yaar, just here to put a smile on your face, yeah. Because the rest of your lives are so uninteresting and this thing, or you just want to engage, or you just want to share and spread some positivity. Similarly, nostalgia works. Nostalgia works really well, right? Because हमारे ज़माने में is always nice, right? It just triggers a part of your brain that just always makes you happy. Extreme opinions is another tool, right? When you have a very strong, definitive take on something. Right? People love it when someone has a spine, when someone gets to call out something. Like AIB's brand of humor was very call-outy. AIB's brand of humor was very calling out bullshit. So people love that. That's an extreme take on something. So when you have an extreme take on something, what happens? You automatically create a market for the contrarian take to that take. Right? So Game of Thrones ka last season kharab tha. I remember this actually happened. The last season of Game of Thrones was trashed so heavily that I was like, कि 2 हफ्ता रुकते, इसके counter opinion pieces शुरू हो जाएंगे. Right? Everyone universally hated it, and then slowly at some point I saw Huffington Post or some article that came out saying it wasn't that bad actually. Right? This is like you said, people just want to feel like they're part of a tribe. They just want to feel that. So especially on like Instagram posts and social media, like ये daily दाल चावल है उनका. Everybody wants to have one extreme take on this thing. Twitter pe to wo, here's why I think artificial intelligence is bad for you. A thread, right? People are engagement farming, fully knowing ki if you have a strong take on something, that'll get traction. And the contrary is also true, which is if you have a strong take against the popular notion. So this broad framework can be applied to everything, right? Like you said, that brand of yours, which is rude on social, which is basically saying ki, oh, everybody else is this way, I will be this. So this broad framework can be applied to everything. Ki baaki duniya kya kar rahi hai, hum बहुत obviously will do the opposite thing. This kind of helps. What else? What else do people share? Relatable.
Patriotism and
Kya bola? Patriotism. So this is like identity-based stuff, right? If you trigger someone's identity. तो हमने AIB पे एक sketch बनाया था, honest engineering.
Yes.
हाँ, engineering, right? तो उस पे तो पूरा ही like मेरे चैनल पे पाकिस्तानी are savage, right? Like पाकिस्तानी बहुत savage होते हैं यार. तो जो भी पाकिस्तानी उनको लगता है हाँ यार मैं तो हूँ यार. तू जानता नहीं है पर मैं savage तो हूँ. We all want to click, right? So identity-based stuff generally is a no-brainer. Everybody wants to say, everybody wants to be told that the identity that they have chosen is, they want to consume content about the 10 things only Gujaratis will understand. All Gujarati are like, हाँ यार, ये तो सिर्फ मुझे ही समझ में आता है और किसी को आता ही नहीं है. Yeah, I think in countries where individualism is usually pushed down, this sort of stuff does super well, and identity-based stuff. So this is like another easy it's an easy no-brainer. If you do something, anything to do with identity, especially if it's identity plus positive, that kind of stuff really works.
Gossip and sensational things also work very well. Anything that breaks the everyday.
Yeah, we broad framework ही है. Sensation is nothing but extreme take on something, right? I'm talking about super macro takes on things. I'm being very broad. इसके अंदर if you go, बोल.
Emotional and soft stories.
Emotional and emotional stuff also works. Usually positive emotional stuff kind of works. Someone said relatability. Like relatability is super interesting because there's a couple of layers to relatability. One I used to call gifting an emotion or shared emotion. Like if you make something about, flatmates, right? Oh, it'll appeal to everybody who's ever had a flatmate, anybody who has lived on campus or shared a room with someone, anybody who's left their city to go to another city to live and has a flatmate, any immigrants, etc. Immigrants is another identity-based thing. And then there is like personal relatability, right? 10 things only tall guys will understand. All tall guys are like, this is just for me. So relatability is also fairly broad. But if you wanna make something, if you're gonna do something, you wanna pick a niche that's not that occupied, where the competition isn't that occupied. I remember when we made the Cred campaigns, the first one, right? We got Bappi Lahiri and we got like Anil Kapoor and all that, where the idea was, okay, we cast Udit Narayan and Alka Yagnik in the ads. We were like, okay, this just right off the bat, these are people you wouldn't cast in a mainstream ad during the IPL, where you have Ranveer Singh and all the more contemporary stars on there. It'll be interesting to put Udit Narayan on screen there. Also because, credit card holders are all older and, they're millennials. These are folks that they would resonate with. So just off the bat, we were like, this would just be interesting. Then within that, we said, okay, usually movie stars are doing their thing and they sell the products. Like we'll reject it, right? Just work for the brand really well because Cred positioning was supposed to be that. फिर के रिजेक्ट कर लेते हैं. तो ये ब्रॉड फ्रेमवर्क से हमने अप्रोच किया था कि इसके अंदर एक्चुअल न्यूआंस क्या होगा, वो सब में हम पहले घुसते, पर इसमें फीलिंग अच्छी आ रही है कि उनको रिजेक्ट कर लेते हैं हम पहले से ही. And we'll reject these yesteryear stars. Let's come to ad writing, okay?
So I just wanted to know, is there a set formula to create a viral campaign, or is there a new process every time?
Formula होता तो सब कुछ वायरल नहीं होता हर बार. Set formula तो नहीं है, but there's some basics. That at least this is the stuff that works for me. I just want to put a disclaimer that this works for me, and I'm not a conventional advertising person either. I would make content, and then I just started writing ads a couple of years ago. So most of my principles come from, I like to approach it as I'm first making interesting content. Advertising comes second. So some stuff that I've written down. One is, look, if someone is going to spend a lot of money buying inventory on television or on OTT, you have to respect that this stuff costs money. Okay? क्योंकि often as creatives ना हम excitement में लिख देते 2 पेज का ad लिख देते जो 1 मिनट चलता है, right? Which means इन्वेंट्री तो 20-30 सेकंड के काफी पैसे लगते हैं. तो अगर आप 1 मिनट का एड लिखते हो तो आधे टाइम ही चलेगा. बेसिकली ईटिंग इनटू 50% ऑफ समवन्स इन्वेंट्री, राइट? व्हिच मींस यू आर ऑटोमेटिकली रिड्यूसिंग द नंबर ऑफ पीपल यू कैन डायरेक्टली रीच आउट टू. तो तुम्हारा टाइम ही कम हो रहा है उसमें. सो यू गॉट टू रिस्पेक्ट द बजट्स दैट आर ऑन दिस थिंग्स. तो तुम्हारे पास होते 30 सेकंड और अंडर, तो 15 सेकंड का भी एडिट भी मांग रहे लोग, राइट? सो यू जस्ट हैव 30 seconds. Like this is sacrosanct. My writers have a tendency to overwrite, and my job is always to be like 30 seconds and under. So 30 seconds तो कितना ही time होता है? In that, you just have to stand out from the get-go immediately. So I often ask the brand saying, what are some things that can get you attention quickly? Because you don't have any time. The first is, of course, a celebrity helps, right? If it's someone that you know, you want to continue watching, that obviously helps, especially when you're playing at scale. even more so because if you use someone popular in an interesting way, it just works better, I think, because you're used to seeing them a certain way. You can either be visually or orally. You can be interesting audio-wise, which is why people often like if you're gonna see an ad 15 times over, you have to either be visually or interesting through audio, which is often jingles, songs, that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff traditionally has always done well if you're catchy. Any form of incongruence. You guys understand what incongruence means, which is square peg round hole, right? Incongruence can be created in many different ways. उसका basic formula यही होता है. X is expected, but Y happens. Okay. This is basically incongruence, right? So how I usually think is ki what is the incongruence I can find for this particular film? Because if you are congruent, you are boring. You are just like everybody else. तो ये काफी broad है. इसको तुम अपने तरीके से 50 जगह सवाल पूछ लो कि इसमें टेढ़ा क्या कर सकते हैं, right? So that I think is what how I usually works. कि इसमें टेढ़ा क्या है? तुम कुछ भी कर लो, चाहे सेलिब्रिटी के यार को टेढ़ा कर लो, सिचुएशन के यार को टेढ़ा कर लो. तो अभी हम शार्क टैंक के लिए कुछ लिखा था, where एक आंटी जाती है सब्जी खरीदने, फिर वो सब्जी खरीदते समय बोलती है अरे ये तो इसका तो इसमें तो मैं पूरा तुम्हारा यही खरीद लूंगी. तो बोलता है कि एक्चुअली वैल्यूएशन लगा के देखते हैं, मेरा साल का टर्नओवर इतना है, इसके और 10x का मल्टीपल लगाएगा तो ये तो नहीं होगा. तो इसमें इनकॉन्ग्रुएंस क्या है? इसमें आप बताओ, इसमें इनकॉन्ग्रुएंस क्या है? इसमें टेढ़ा क्या है? Exactly, right? So that usually catches your attention, which is X is expected, but Y happens, right? तो ये मैं सब जगह like this goes without saying. I apply this to everything because fundamentally in your brain, what is happening, right? Your brain likes to predict things. It's doing that naturally, right? कि अब क्या होगा, इसके आगे क्या होगा. और जब आपका ब्रेन कुछ प्रेडिक्ट करने की कोशिश करता है कि ये होगा और वो होता है, तो भी डोपामिन मिलता है. इसलिए हमें गाने पसंद है. Let the beat drop. लगा अरे मजा ही आ गया भाई, ड्रॉप आ गया, फील ही आ गई इसके अंदर, right? But you also get pleasantly surprised कि ड्रॉप नहीं आया, उसका कुछ और ही आ गया. अरे ये क्या हो गया, कुछ तो मजा आ गया. And X is expected, but Y also happened. So keeping people engaged is always a combination of giving them a little bit of what they want and a little bit of a surprise. So you have to somehow manage that quick as in as short a time frame. And this applies to everything. It applies to print, it applies to social, it applies to TVC, it applies to everything. If you can make people expect X and deliver Y, you have won. Quite simply. That to me is the formula. बहुत broad बता रहा हूँ मैं, एकदम ही basic बता रहा हूँ. But a lot of people, they kind of miss that. And the thing is, brevity is your friend, right? Like the quicker you can make someone get into the mood or the milieu or the setting of whatever it is that you're trying to do, the easier it is for you to flip that. तो मेरी कंपनी का नाम भी होता है 1-2-flip. 1-2-flip is basically anatomy of a joke. By the way, all content works this way. Jokes are also this only, right? My grandfather had the heart of a lion. And that is why he's not allowed in a zoo anymore. Right? Expected X, but Y happened. Jokes work the same way, right? All content works the same way. If you can somehow beat an expectation or deliver on it, right? Delivering on expectation is a more of brand building thing, right? If you deliver, if people expect something and you deliver on it, there's just more likability. मजा आता है लोगों को कि अच्छा ये इस पे जाता तो हर बार यही मिलता है. That's more a macro view on brand building, but on a content view, if you can create expectation and you can beat it, that usually releases dopamine. I hope that answered your question. Next, बताओ अगला लाइन किसका है? हाँ.
How does a new startup approach social media marketing with low budgets to build their brand?
Interesting. So it's at the risk of repeating myself, right? I like to look at all companies, imagine if you're your own channel. Actually, let me rephrase that. I don't think budgets are a problem in today's day and age because you can make content out of everything. You can make content in your office. Some basic fundamentals remain the same, which is you just have to be consistent. You just have to keep trying, because if you don't take enough shots, not enough land. That's pretty simple. One thing that I often tell founders is, if the folks who work in your marketing team, if they are creators and or artists who output generally, that kind of helps just with the hiring process, right? क्योंकि एक feedback loop नाम की चीज होती है, ठीक है? Which is, if you're used to creating something, presenting it to an audience, getting that feedback and then reiterating it, इसमें ही तुम बहुत सीख जाते हो. Like मैंने even when I was at AIB and we used to make videos on YouTube, पर वो महीने में 2 निकलते थे. 2 वीडियो हम बनाते थे क्योंकि those were artistic videos. We used to take time with it. But I used to spend a lot of time with the social media team, who used to output 6-7 posts a day. तो 6-7 बार दिन में तुम्हें फीडबैक मिलता रहा. तुमने ये बोला, फिर ये आया. एज अ कॉमेडियन 1 घंटे में मुझे 70 बार आता है कि मैं जो बोलता हूँ मुझे फीडबैक मिल गया. इसलिए मैं जितना मैं हो जा रहा हूँ ओपन माइक करूंगा, उतना मेरा सेट तगड़ा होते रहेगा. So the more you output and you put out in the world, you get the feedback and then you reiterate, the better your judgment becomes. तो अगर आपने एक चीज 150 बार कर दी ना, तो the 151st time तुमको बेटर आइडिया होगा कि ये चलेगा कि नहीं, राइट? तो अब मैंने इतना YouTube किया है कि अब मैं रफली प्रिडिक्ट कर सकता हूँ कि ये होगा तो ये बोलेंगे लोग, राइट? So you have to take more shots. Like that's one mistake that most people make is they just don't take enough shots. So you wanna hire creators who are used to outputting stuff. तो मैं तो बोलता हूँ कि अब जब भी मैं अगली कंपनी बनाऊंगा, उसके अंदर if I go to hire, my marketing team will be full of artists who are driven by some form of artistry, and it'll be full of creators who have either built their own page and scaled it. अगर किसी बंदे ने naturally बिना किसी पुल के 0 to 50,000 लेके गया, तो उसको तो चमकता है कि कुछ करना आता है इसमें, right? So I think the future of marketing is effectively creators and artists. I think those are the folks who will rule marketing. Yeah, consistency I think is important. अभी इस इतने में रुकते हैं हम. इतने में रुकते हैं. Next.
Like you said, you approach making marketing campaigns for brand like how you make interesting content. So my question is, how do you ensure brands communication and positioning goes across while making the campaign?
How do I ensure the brand's communication and positioning is maintained? I don't. These things are usually determined by the founder, which is what is it that they want to say. That is determined by data, research, etc., etc., etc. See, anything that you want to communicate will have some route, which is an interesting way of communicating. I don't think it's an either or. तुमको बोलना X है, इस X को बोलने के 15 इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके हैं. मेरा काम है 15 इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके ढूंढना. It's not like फाउंडर आके बोलता है कि मुझे X बोलना है, मैं बोलता हूँ कि यार H बोलते ना. Like वो थोड़ी हो रहा है, right? That I think is usually the problem is saying too much. The problem isn't कि तुमको मैंने एक चीज बोलने बोला और वही तुमने नहीं बोला. वो usually problem नहीं होता है. Problem होता है reverse, कि ज्यादा बोल रहे हो. तुम्हारे पास ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है. एक चीज में एक ही चीज बोलो और वो जितने क्लियर स्पष्ट तरीके से बोल सकते हो वही बोलना जरूरी है. Usually the problem is that, which is रायता फैल जाता है ज्यादा. वो कंट्रोल करने में brevity is your friend in that case, कि जितना कम बोलो, जितना सीधा एक ही चीज बोलो, वो उससे चीजें ज्यादा इफेक्टिव होती है. So that's what I would say. Like today, when I see what stuff you guys have done, I foresee कि रायता फैलने वाला है. It's usually a typical amateurist mistake where you want to say more, क्योंकि लोग creativity में बह जाते हैं guys. ये सब कुछ amazing होता है. But there's a very popular quote which is writing is rewriting. Actually, the more you edit out, the better it is. So what we usually do is कि हम पहला script लिखते हैं और जितना दिल में जो आया है सब डाल दो. ठीक है, पर पिच करने से पहले 2 राउंड एडिट के होते हैं मिनिमम, इतना कम. एंड दिस बाय द वे अप्लाइज in life in general, in most social interactions, right? Because usually a sign of doing more and telling more is like a people pleasy. It's like those who are really sure and clear about what they want, they stick in the lane and they know just exactly how much to say. उससे ना एक subtext भी बढ़ती है. The lesser you say, the more people want to read into what you say, etc. These are all like deeper psychological things. So yeah.
So I have a question. In creative writing, it always happens like first cut में एकदम फाड़ बना दिया, but then second cut, third cut में it always boils down to something and loses the element. So what do you do? Do you keep on refining that, or you go back to the whiteboard, sketch it out again, and start fresh?
Overthinking तो होती है ये. Objectivity lose तो होती है. In which case, what really helps me is if you have a band of people whose judgment you trust, who have high taste. राइट, ये अक्सर होता है. इनफैक्ट अभी रिसेंटली लेंसकार्ट के एड्स लिखे थे मैंने, तो वी वर स्टक विद इट फॉर अबाउट 3-4 वीक्स, राइट. बाय द एंड ऑफ इट एवरीबडी वाज लूजिंग ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, बिकॉज़ सब एक लाइन माइक्रो मैनेज और ये और वो उसमें होते हैं. बट व्हेन एन ऑडियंस सीज इट, दे आर सीइंग इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, राइट. सो द फर्स्ट टाइम जो जॉय तुम्हें मिला था, जब मैं पहली बार रीडिंग करता हूँ, मैं सबकी शक्लें देखता हूँ कि अच्छा ये हो रहा है, इनको मजा आ रहा है, इनको मजा आ रहा है. You cannot forget that most people are going to see it for the first time. So you don't want to kill your own baby fully. Striking that right balance comes with time. The more you do it, the more you start having an idea of when to detach, when your involvement is necessary, how to work with a larger team, whose judgment do you trust. So I think if you have, I on my WhatsApp, at any given point, I have 20 people I can send something to who all have high taste. जिनका judgment अच्छा होता है. You want to surround yourself with folks, you want to feedback with folks who have good taste, right? क्योंकि बहुत लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं कि उनको सब कुछ पसंद आता है. अच्छा फीडबैक देना भी एक आर्ट होता है, you know, knowing what to tell someone कि ये करते हैं. But in general, yeah, if you have a list of, इसलिए लोग बोलते हैं ना कि creative collaborators जतिन ललित जैसे होते हैं, मतलब 25 साल हम साथ में काम करेंगे, क्योंकि एक टेस्ट की मैचिंग आती है कि you usually tend to have taste which is like mine, so if I can trust your judgment, right? So if someone can judge things well, or if someone is able to give an idea of, hey, I think this is what will make the product better, you don't want to let that person go. Because often creative collaborators don't leave. Like I've been working with the same team for 10 years. I still go to the same people. I still ask them no matter what I'm doing. क्योंकि उनको पता है कि frank भी हो सकते हैं और they have an idea of objectivity. So you wanna be able to, just the phrase that I use is, मैं कुछ सुनाता हूँ किसी फाउंडर को कि ये मैंने लिखा है, फिर फाउंडर को बहुत मजा आता है. Then I like to pull it back by saying, let's sleep on it. Let's sleep on it. कल देखते हैं. ये आइडिया की कमी थोड़ी है जिंदगी में, और भी आइडिया सोच लेंगे, पर सो के देखो, अगले दिन भी उतना ही मजा आ रहा है. I am a big fan of feedbacking. I feedback stuff that I'm working on with all my friends all the time. मैं hang out करने आया तो कि it's not like सुनना, मैं तेरे को मैंने एक ad लिखा है, ये सुनते हैं, right? No one wants to be like कि नहीं सुनना है. If it's good content, people always want to hear कि ये स्क्रिप्ट ही सुना रहे ना, तो स्क्रिप्ट सुनाना मतलब क्या ही है? It's just like sharing a story, right? तो फिर कल मेरे साथ ये हुआ, सुनना एक ad लिखते. So I feedback heavily. I feedback with all kinds of people. That usually gives you an idea of what is working and what is not. And I feedback mostly to find out कि क्या हटाना है इसमें से, ये नहीं करना है. Most times what I've seen is, if you have a group of smart people come together and you pitch an idea, you can instantly see अगर पूरा रूम, क्योंकि 25-30 लोगों की जजमेंट तो ऑफ नहीं हो सकती. अगर ये सैंपल साइज को मजा आ रहा है ना, तो सबको मजा आ रहा है. For me, my personal metric is I need to enjoy it, and if my room is enjoying it, most people will enjoy it because I'm basic. Okay. तो मेरे को लगता है कि मैं नॉर्मल इंसान की तरह, मुझे मजा आ रहा है तो सबको मजा आएगा ही. So yeah, feedbacking is your friend, man. You gotta feedback wide. You gotta be able to filter out who's giving you feedback for feedback's sake. क्योंकि वो भी होता है, लोगों को feedback देना भी है, just to make themselves feel like मेरी input, मैं smart हूँ तो मेरी बात सुन. So you want to be able to see a lot of like my best friends and the most creative friends of mine. अच्छा सही है. I have nothing to say. मस्त है. Like you achieved what you set out to achieve, and that's good enough as well. ज़्यादा बोल दिया मैंने बेसिक चीज पे. चलो ठीक है. अगला सवाल.
So, what do you think separates a good marketeer from a great marketeer?
Just experience, I think. Consistency and experience. पर इतना मेरे को आइडिया भी नहीं है यार, ये गुड ग्रेट क्या, गुड होना ही बहुत है भाई. तुम बस गुड बन जाओ, तुम बस 10 सालों तक गुड रहो, तुम ग्रेट बन जाओगे. Like that distinction is like the thing with making content or doing marketing is you are the last hit you gave, right? Generally being an artist, right? You are the last thing that you made. अभी भी हर बार जब नया ब्रीफ आता है तो फटती तो है ही, और फिर वापस की मेरे प्रोफाइल पे शेयर करना है भाई, इस बार हमने लिखा है. It's like you ask anyone, यार. You ask be it Ritviz who's just starting off in his career or be it Rahman, right? Which is next album निकलना होता है, तो you are the last thing that you made, man. If the last thing doesn't work, you're like, I guess I got to get back to the drawing board and do it again. I think, yeah, it's marketing. Marketing is nothing short of artistry. You are the last thing that you made, and I think just being good consistently for a long time makes you great. That's about it. But being good only is hard. Just if you become good, bhai, you are insanely valuable, and you should find a team that values you. Next.
Do you think data or consumer insights play a big role when you write marketing? You work on that. How do you
Yeah. That's an interesting question. So for me personally, I rely on the person who's giving the brief to do this part of the job. But I expect them to. क्योंकि हवे में तीर अंधे में तीर थोड़ी मारना है, right? You want to be able to flex your creativity on a problem that's actually will move the needle a little bit. So I expect the person who's briefing to do that. I am very data friendly. My most used app is YouTube Studio. मुझे एनालिटिक्स बहुत पसंद है, मुझे देखना बहुत पसंद है कि किस प्रॉब्लम को हम कैसे अटैक कर रहे हैं. So I'm a firm believer in that. But once I'm in the realm of where I need to be, there I think I'm okay with कि यही चीज हम ऐसे बोल सकते हैं क्या, थोड़ा बेंड कर सकते हैं क्या, थोड़ा ये कर सकते हैं क्या. Because creativity is not a number at the end of the day. You want to be in the zone of what's effective, but you want the zone to be wide enough that you can play around. Because there is no idea that is, it's not like, ideas are not like 1 + 5 = 6. They're not that, right? You're going to find nothing that says the exact same thing that you expected. So I think numbers can take you to the zone of where you should be. And once you're there, you should let your creativity flex. So it's always a mix of two. It's like saying कि अच्छा देखो मुझे तीर मारना है, ठीक है, मुझे एक तीर मारना है, तो तीर को किस डायरेक्शन में मारना है, वहां पे डेटा इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. क्योंकि 2 डिग्री आगे पीछे होता है ना, तो जितना दूर तीर जाता है उतना फर्दर अवे फ्रॉम द मार्क यू आर, राइट? सो यू वांट टू बी एबल टू यूज द नंबर एट द एंगल इन व्हिच यू आर गोना शूट, राइट? सो यू वांट टू बी इन द जोन ऑफ वेयर यू नीड टू बी. यू कांट देयर, उधर ज्यादा डिस्क्रिपेंसी नहीं आ सकती. yeah next. Okay. हाँ बोलना.
You talked about cred ads. Do you think these ads would have worked had it not been the stars in those ads?
No, it wouldn't have. But it was written keeping in mind. I wouldn't have written those if I knew that we didn't have access to the people that we had. I wouldn't have written that only. Those wouldn't have worked without the stars. Why would it? Why would you watch him dance? You won't. Those were written keeping in mind that these are the tools that are available to us. How can we create something interesting using that? Right? वैसे तो AIB roast also wouldn't have worked if you didn't have the stars, right? इसमें क्या है? That's your playing ground, and you want to play within that. Mm-hmm.
So, how do you get in the zone while you're creating these ads? I mean, what's the mindset? What's that form of exercise that you do?
I have a person whose only job is to show me references, right? I have one person's job is to be like कि मेरे को ये zone में, if I'm writing an ad for a car, I'll be like, just pick the best car ads and just show it to me. I just want to be in the zone and just want to know, okay, what have the best minds thought about already? So for me, I love watching stuff that gets me in the zone. For me, it's like when I sit down to write stand-up, I love watching many different clips that are getting in the zone. But that's my process. It's not necessarily true for everyone. A lot of people are like, I don't want to be derivative. But I'm like, everything, for me personally, I think everything is a derivation of something. Like something has to spark, something has to trigger. If it's not this, then just sitting in a room with other people, it all begins with some sort of an angle or some sort of an insight. If you're writing something for a car, you just want to be able to be in a room with people and be like, गाड़ियाँ ऐसे क्यों होती है यार? Nothing. ये देखा है तूने गाड़ी कार में? You just want to be in that zone. But I like a trigger. I like to see something that triggers some thought in me. I am an awful solo operator. I cannot work in isolation. There are a lot of writers who will shut themselves in a room and come out with 15 things. I am not one of those. But there are people who do that as well. Everybody has their own process. I just know that कि मैं solo नहीं कर सकता. मेरे को दोस्त और तो चाहिए. मेरे को कुछ ना कुछ तो चाहिए रहता है मेरे को. Oftentimes it begins with watching a reference of one thing and then that leads into another. Then you watch something else and then I'm watching a documentary about caterpillars and then something strikes and it's all creativity is just a bunch of neurons in your head which are making weird patterns, right? When two neurons who haven't spoken to each other start talking to each other, that's when something new happens, right? That is literally creativity. That's literally how your brain functions. You need two random patterns to be created between two neurons and then you feel like I have something fresh. That is how I operate. I like to watch stuff. But now how I work is there's a bunch of folks who work with me. This is now. Now I like to exercise my judgment on a more macro level. If there's a team that comes with me, I get in on they all do the first round of ideation, which is they put down 20 ideas. कि सब कुछ डाल दिया पेपर के ऊपर सब कुछ ये 20 आइडिया हमारे पास. I'll be like ठीक है तुम सुनाओ. I'll be like these 5 look interesting. Come now let's work on this इसमें कुछ तो अंदर इसके अंदर ऐसे अप्रोच कर तो क्या होगा. Okay, then we round up on we work for 2-3 hours. Sometimes those 2-3 hours aren't enough and you feel like we don't have a winner. These are terms that I use internally saying I don't think we have a winner yet. Then you go back and you'll be like कि ये angle से सोचो इसको हमने attack नहीं किया है. Sometimes my feedback will be like कि I'm not visually stimulated enough in any of these. These all feel like visuals that are done. So I like to work with a group of people. And I like to exercise my judgment on macro things. Like I think my core skill is I'll know what will slap when it lands. Like I've gotten very good at that. If you present to me 5 ideas, I've gotten very good at picking I think these 3 will. But that's me personally. सबका अलग-अलग process होता है यार. कोई set rule नहीं है. कोई set rule नहीं है. सब गुलजार साहब अलग लिखते हैं, जावेद साहब अलग लिखते हैं. Like there's no set rule. बताओ और कुछ है?
Do you foresee traditional media like say billboards or newspapers or radio becoming irrelevant in the next 5 years?
Not in the next 5 years. I mean, as long as people continue to go outside, billboards will still be around. As long as people continue to read newspapers, print will still be around. I'm not worried about there being less modes of advertising. I think there'll be new modes. Who knew that making 9:16 videos would be the new advertising, right? Who knew? So there'll be new things to advertise because advertising, much like brokerage, is a business that's not going to die. That's going to continue living. In the next 5 years तो उतना नहीं होगा. अगर पिछले 10 साल में नहीं मरे तो अगले 5 में भी नहीं मरेंगे. You know, and that's what I think.
And like, what's the one thing which brand managers fail to understand?
So one thing that brand managers fail to understand. Interesting. Well, there's not just one thing. I think brand managers fail to realize that risk hai to ishq hai. Right? Because I think, that comes from a founder mentality, right? You have to be willing to take calculated risks. Especially the larger the conglomerate, the more bureaucratic the process, the less risk-taking ability exists. That I think, it's at the heart of the problem, which is being too scared to be able to take risks because too much is at stake, which I think is a founder issue to take care of. No matter how large the organization, if the founder comes and tells you it's okay if it doesn't slap, that's fine. It's a big relieving thing. I've worked with so many managers as an influencer, as a writer, as a collaborator. And this is the one common problem that I've seen. And the best brand managers I've worked with are folks who are like, I'm an open book. This is a collaboration and I'm not commissioning work from you. I'm working with you. Those usually are the best brand managers, and those usually have founders who have full faith and trust and being like, it's fine. This is at the heart of most brand managers, especially ones in larger companies. तो ये बहुत होता है यार, और मेरे को बुरा भी लगता है कि उनको भी तो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे डेक पे डालना पड़ता है और दिखाना पड़ता है कि मैंने देखो इतना खर्चा किया, उससे ये हुआ, उससे ये रिटर्न मिले, इतने इंप्रेशन आए, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. I think folks who are good at predicting second order and third order effects of content and marketing, those people tend to take more risks. For example, I've worked with a few brands now, and each time a campaign is successful at an IPL scale, right, it has these second and third order effects. For example, it becomes easier to hire, right? When a great campaign goes out at scale, everybody wants to work with you. It becomes easier to close someone. The employee NPS becomes super high. क्योंकि तुम्हारी सारी जनता LinkedIn पे proudly share करती है कि हमारे end से आया. You can't buy these things, right? तो इसलिए जब कोई मेरे साथ 15-20 लाख रुपए के लड़ता है, I'm like, you're not understanding the things that can happen. If you just these things are priceless. You can't value these things. अगर तुमने 10 की hire कर लिए ना, I have delivered 10x on what you've paid me actually, because these 10 people can have effects on your company that otherwise wouldn't have had. So I think great brand managers recognize this. कि internal NPS अगर 10 गुना बढ़ जाए ना, तो मजा ही आ जाता है. Like folks at Cred put Cred on their Tinder bio, right? You can't buy this. No amount of money. And Kunal, he's so good at understanding this stuff, gave me full freedom. You make stuff that you'd be proud of, and automatically the whole company is proud of it, right? So great brand managers think like this, and it only happens once you have multiple successes, right? I just did I was telling this to Piyush. We just did the Lenskart stuff, and I was on LinkedIn, and I had so many Lenskart employees tag me on LinkedIn, saying we put this stuff out, really interesting. This is how we were part of it, etc., etc. That feels great to see when the folks inside the company are like, cool tha na, mada hai na? Say yeah. That is always nice. Yeah. और कोई thought है तो दबा दो उसे. नहीं पूछ सकते तुम. I'm kidding. Please, let's go on 5 minutes. If there's anything else, you guys, please.
Just curious now, what is it selling from content to ads? How did you get into ads? To ads, what are the pipelines for which you want to make ads?
How did the journey from content to ads happen? Yeah, very organically. Like Kunal called me one day and said, "Can you help me write something for IPL?" और देखो आर्टिस्ट की बस यही होता है कि जनता देखेगी इसे मजा आएगा. For me, this thing was, oh shit, this is gonna go. This is gonna be, they were one of the sponsors of the IPL. It would be cool if the whole country, 300 million people are gonna watch this thing. It would be cool. That scale was very exciting to me, that everyone would watch it. Artist को क्या ही चाहिए यार? Artist को बस चाहिए कि कोई देख ले काम. हाँ, और बस 2 ग्राम appreciation दे दे, उसी में खुश जाते हैं हम. So that's how I was like, okay, I'm not going to approach this as मैं ad लिख रहा हूँ. I was like, अगर दिन में 10 बार कुछ इंसान देखने वाला है, तो उसको मजा आना चाहिए देखने में, ये चैलेंज था. That's how I started writing. What are some 5 brands that I would like to write for? I don't think about these things as brands or like my trip in life is कि ये करने में मजा आया कि नहीं. Like I read the Shark Tank ads because I was like, Shark Tank it's a cool show. I like the show, and I love the impact that the show is having, which is everyone's thinking about startups. So like this will be fun to make something for this. I did the Lenskart stuff because I was like, I know Karan loves doing fun, quirky stuff. So like it'll be fun to do something with him. So there, I don't look at it as कि कोई brand के साथ काम करना है, but someday I would love to write political campaign for, you know, for like an election campaign. I would love to do that. I would love to do that kind of thing, right? I would love to market a film at some point. I would love to do different things. There's no set thing कि ये करना है. ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. क्योंकि actual brand work तो boring ही होता है, right? तुमको मजे चाहिए. क्योंकि brand के लिए काम है, किसको मेलर वेलर किसको लिखना है यार? Like no one wants to do that. So I enjoy scale. मजा आएगा अगर कोई प्रधानमंत्री वाला कैंपेन लिख दे तो मजा ही आ जाएगा यार. वो स्केल सोच रहे हो तुम, मतलब मजा तो आ जाएगा उसमें. Which किया भी है, like traditionally the best advertising folks in India have ended up doing political stuff only eventually. तो सबकी ट्रिप वही होती है यार. एंड में स्केल में कुछ बन जाए, करोड़ों लोगों ने कुछ देख लिया और कुछ उससे कुछ निकल जाए तो मजा आता है. You want to write stuff for stories, right? At the end of the day. क्योंकि पैसे के लिए तो कर नहीं रहे. पैसे के लिए तो धंधा करना पड़ता है. और बताओ, हो गया? Done? चाय पिए? चलो तो hopefully this session was useful to you guys.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you guys have fun? Yes. It's like, did you see, like it was like advanced, like choreographed.
पैसे दिए मैंने सबको. So all the best to you guys. Hopefully everything that we spoke about was useful, and I'll see you guys in the tank.
Right? Nice. That was good. All right, guys, get to work.
The first character is a confused 18 to 20-year-old boy who doesn't know anything about grooming. Now, उसकी confusion दूर करने के लिए we have technical गुरुजी. ए आदि, ये क्या हुलिया बना रखा है? जाओ जाके दाढ़ी काटो.
हे भगवान,
Did someone call me?
ये लड़का होना भी कितना मुश्किल काम है. बियर्ड पूरी काट लूं तो मुझे टिंडर पे लेफ्ट स्वाइप आ जाता है. अगर बियर्ड नहीं काटूं तो मम्मी से तेज तड़ाकेदार राइट स्वाइप आ जाता है. तो मैं इस बियर्ड का क्या करूं? इस बियर्ड का अब क्या करूं?
Now, Adi is pulled into the mirror world, which looks like heaven.
Hey, what's? इधर आओ.
गुरुजी आप?
इतनी छोटी सी बात के लिए भगवान को क्यों ही परेशान करना? Hey Naru, give me the beats. You want the fun types, the cool type. Oh, I don't give a damn type. Oh, wanna go with the green look, the mean look. Oh, what a guy look!
I just want my look.
Don't worry, got your back.
Technical Guruji snaps his fingers and the boat headphones turn into a trimmer.
Go, now try your own look.
Adi is pushed back to the real world and looks at his mirror again.
This feels like magic.
Shh, it's not magic. It's a new boat trimmer.
Do what floats your boat.
Now imagine this. Technical Guruji saying, let's settle the debate for once and all. Beard versus no beard. I'll go first. And then he posts a picture of himself with the majestic beard and the hashtag beard supremacy. Then our own homeboy comes with a picture and says, Guruji, आप भाषण तो अच्छा देते हो, but यहाँ पे आप चूक गए. Hashtag clean forever. And then the girl gang kicks in. And then we have Kritika, Pat Bhochek, and she says, let the experts handle it. And then she has a poll where she says, beard, no beard.
what will cause the virality? First one will be launching the lifelike beard filters on Instagram, and people can, share those with their friends, and and it will have the boat branding. The second one will be the rap that you heard. We'll play it much better, and that can be used in the reels as an audio, and then people can again share their looks with their friends.
Your team BBC,
Thank you for that.
गाइस अच्छा ऐड सॉलिड आप लोगों ने दिमाग लगाया, सोचा इसके कट्स बन जाएंगे 15 सेकंड 10 सेकंड।
नहीं, ये 15 सेकंड में तुम कर ही नहीं पाओगे। दिस इज अ 75 to 90 सेकंडर।
इसमें आपको कुछ याद रहेगा? ह्यूमर इज अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट सब्जेक्ट। अगर ठीक से ना हो ना ह्यूमर,
अगर ठीक नहीं लैंड होता तो क्रिंज फील होता है।
क्रिंज फील होता है। मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ा और सोचना पड़ेगा, डीप डाइव करना पड़ेगा।
ये जो मेक योर ओन लुक, ड्रेस योर ओन सेल्फ, ये जो है ना, ये एकदम डन नहीं लगता ये। इट्स लाइक सेइंग आई सपोर्ट यू बेटा, व्हाटएवर यू वांट। एज अ ब्रांड यू डोंट हैव अ क्लियर स्टैंस ऑन व्हाट यू डू। सेकंड थिंग इज ये जो ट्विटर बैंटर है ना, इसमें दूर दूर से स्पॉन्सरशिप की बू आती है, ठीक है। ये सारी एजेंसी को बंद करना चाहिए। हम दोपहर के 2 बजे ट्विटर बैंटर करेगा, अमन ये ट्वीट करेगा, फिर तन्मय इसका रिस्पॉन्स करेगा, फिर 4 बजे इसका रिस्पॉन्स आएगा। अमन ये कभी ट्वीट ही नहीं करेगा, मैं उसको ऐसे रिस्पॉन्ड ही नहीं करूंगा। लाइक इट्स सो ऑब्वियसली स्पॉन्सर्ड,
रोबोटिक।
या इट्स लाइक दूर दूर से बू आती है कि अच्छा पैसे मिले, आज पैसे कमा रही है। जस्ट नॉट डू इट। अगेन द बियर्ड फिल्टर जो आपने बोला, ये एक तो बियर्ड फिल्टर बहुत है, ठीक है, ऊपर से ब्रांडेड वाले फिल्टर कोई क्यों करेगा? ब्रांडेड वाला फिल्टर, लाइक व्हाई वुड समवन ओपन इट एंड बी लाइक कि आज मैं मेरे दाढ़ी में बोट डालूंगा? कोई नहीं सोच रहा यार, किसी को करना नहीं, तुम ही करोगे, तुम भी नहीं करोगे। In fact, I would take your ad and just be like, find one thing in that and just stick to that, which is that, oh, there are all these different types of looks. You should go for what you want to do. Just ये एक सूत्र पकड़ो, इसी के अराउंड फोकस करो। अब कोर मोटिवेशन भी देखो ना, आपने जब स्टार्टिंग बोला ना कि बियर्ड निकाल दो तो टिंडर पे लेफ्ट स्वाइप मार देंगे सब, वो हम एकदम कोर मोटिवेशन पे जा रहे हैं, राइट? लाइक जो एक्स डिओड्रेंट ने किया था कि भाई खूबसूरत स्मेल करोगे बंदियां मिलती है, एकदम कोर मोटिवेशन ही है। Right, this is the real reason why men want to groom. This is the real reason why you want facial hair. That to me has some core motivation. And if you had played around with that insight, right?
Only that insight.
Only that insight. Bus. Then the film is way stronger.
और कॉमेडी रूट तो मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, वी हैव टू गो टू तन्मय टू लुक फॉर कॉमेडी रूट्स बिकॉज ही कैन probably अंडरस्टैंड।
बहुत इजी है।
बट आपके लिए मतलब हम लोगों के लिए बहुत टफ हो जाता है कॉमेडी रूट ढूंढना फॉर एन एड स्पेसिफिकली। सो हाउ डू वी डू एंड थिंक डिफरेंटली इज व्हाट यू गाइस हैव टू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग कि यार ये तो मैंने देखा भाई कहीं। जैसे मैं कह रहा था ना, मेमोरेबिलिटी, कि कुछ याद तो रहे कि कुछ अलग किया भाई, कुछ फोड़ा है इसमें, वो वाली।
बट यार बड़ी बड़ी एजेंसीज पिच करती है अमन को, उनकी भी लग जाती है। यू गाइस आर स्टूडेंट्स, अभी बहुत इलेक्टिव्स बचे हैं, सो आई सीरियसली लव।
और अगर कोई सीरियस पैसे देके एजेंसी आती है ना, तो मैं इतने प्यार से बात भी नहीं करता। वहाँ रियल मनी इन्वॉल्व होता है।
थैंक यू।
हमें ना एक गाना बनाना है और एक ट्रिमर भी बेचना है, दोनों करना है हमें। बता कैसे करेंगे?
हाँ तो बेस्ट है ना, यही करते हैं, एक एंथम बनाते हैं, दाढ़ी एंथम सेलिब्रेटिंग दाढ़ी।
भाई वो बेचेगा कौन?
कोई एम्बेसडर चाहिए,
प्रीवियस करना पड़ेगा।
वाला चाहिए भाई, दाढ़ी वाला कोई बढ़िया
अच्छी दाढ़ी। शाहिद वर्क्स।
शाहिद कपूर आएगा, शाहिद कपूर तीनों पिक्चर की एक फोटो डालेगा। इन्फ्लुएंसर्स को बोलेंगे अपने बार्बर के साथ एक फोटो डालो, बोलो #we'll miss you।
There'll be a buzz around it, but people will have no idea what's happening।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ ब्रो, बेस्ट एड बनेगी। ओए यहाँ जरा, यहाँ ये क्या देखते हो रोज हमारे महीने में?
आप लोग क्या दाढ़ी करते थे, तो मेरी दाढ़ी नहीं आ रही, मुझे नहीं चाहिए दाढ़ी।
ओए बच्चे यहाँ आ जाए, बैठ जाओ। संयम रखना पड़ता है, दाढ़ी धीरे धीरे आती है, थोड़ा संयम रखो। आपकी भी आएगी, हमारी आएगी, तो आपकी क्यों नहीं आएगी? चलो एक बढ़िया सी कहानी सुनाता हूँ, ठीक है? दाढ़ी एक कथा है ऐसी लंबी चौड़ी महाभारत जैसी, दाढ़ी वाले खेल कर गए, देखी दाढ़ी जेल कर गए, बिन दाढ़ी ने देश जिताया, दाढ़ी वाले ने देश जगाया। दाढ़ी से विवाद नहीं है, बढ़ा के दाढ़ी बात करो तो दाढ़ी पे सवाल नहीं है, बिन दाढ़ी विचार है कच्चा, बच्चा दाढ़ी उगा लो तो संसार है सच्चा।
अबे ओ चचा
बोलिए।
नए जमाने के बच्चे, इन्हें थोड़ा डिचिक चाहिए बाबा।
हैं जी?
अरे पकड़ो तुम।
हाँ बढ़िया,
ये लाओ जरा।
अरे रुको जरा।
दाढ़ी देश बढ़ाते देखी, दाढ़ी देश डुबाते देखी, छोटी देखी मोटी देखी, दाढ़ी बढ़िया होते देखी, कच्ची देखी पक्की देखी, दाढ़ी हर मौसम की देखी, तीखी देखी बिखरी देखी, दाढ़ी हर रंगों की देखी, माना देश जगाते लेकिन दाढ़ी किसी की न जाते देखी।
भाई आ गई।
क्या आ गया? बिल्कुल
भाई दाढ़ी आ गई।
दाढ़ी आ गई। मुबारक हो दाढ़ी हुई है लड्डू लो अरे मुंह खोल पगली मुबारक हो दाढ़ी हुई है
दाढ़ी है
बढ़िया बनाओ हक से दिखाओ हैशटैग हमारी दाढ़ी हैशटैग माय बोट कट
like the caption will be whatever floats your boat hashtag my boat cut hashtag find your own boat cut.
Also, like we are focusing on influencers and the celebrities. Right now, we'll be focusing on the people, our target. So, boat will be incentivizing those people. We'll be giving them shout-outs. We'll be giving them discounts, and that is where boat stands for the people. So, we'll be launching a all India Dadi campaign, where everybody has to post a picture with their comfortable look of their Dadi, which will say their hashtag my boat cut.
On that anthem, with hashtag दाढ़ी दिखाओ discount.
Yes.
क्या दाढ़ी दिखाओ डिस्काउंट?
Yes. दाढ़ी एंथम बनानी थी हमने बना ली ये आपका बोर्ड था और अब ये बनेगा
Basically giving a new perspective to boat, which is beard.
सीधा है और ये है बोट दाढ़ी एंथम.
Alright. अच्छा.
कैंपेन बहुत सॉलिड है, बहुत सारे हैं, बहुत तुमने दिमाग लगाया है और ये मुझे बोट दाढ़ी और जो तुमने लिखा ना माय बोट कट आई थिंक इट्स फिनोमिनल. आई थिंक दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच कैन बी व्हिच आई शुड व्हिच मेरी टीम आई भी है यार नोट कर लो ये हमें करना है कैंपेन. तो आइडिया तो अच्छा है.
I think my favorite thing in the whole thing was getting influencers to post a picture with their barber saying miss you. Okay, वो मेरे को cool लगा. That I think is interesting and it's cute and it's also like when you do this at scale and you get 10, 20, 30 people to do it, then it becomes interesting to see.
पहले तो बोट की ना एक रिलेटेबिलिटी कम है इसमें शुरू से. ठीक है, जो आपने बोला कि बोट ट्रिमर ला रहा है तो आपने ना 3-4 कैंपेन एक साथ मिक्स कर दिया.
You know the number one reason why no one will make UGC out of it? Can anyone guess कि ये कोई इसका रील क्यों नहीं बनाएगा? नंबर 1 रीजन, क्योंकि ये ब्रांड की फिल्म है. जनता जो है ना दूर दूर से ब्रांड की बू आती है. ठीक है, इट्स जस्ट नॉट कूल टू मेक अ रील ऑफ अ ब्रांड जिंग. इट्स नॉट इनहेरेंटली कूल. एक बताओ जो हुआ है
unless you give them competition and alert.
Unless you give them a carrot, even then that's not organic. Like
that's not organic.
It's fully incentivized. People don't want to put something on their profile of like a brand jingle. यहाँ पे डिवाइन के बाकी गाने हैं, बाजीगर है, ऋत्विज है, 50-100 म्यूजिक आर्टिस्ट है जिनके ट्रेंड बन रहे. Why would someone do this? People inherently don't want to associate themselves with like कोई सुबह उठ के नहीं बोलता है brand content. People don't want to do it. This is a mistake that brands make. They think they're at the center of the user's life. They're really not.
और branded content viral banana is like the last thing you should do. So these are probably some of the feedbacks.
हाँ, बस मेरी शक्ल उसामा के बाजू में क्यों है ये मेरा लास्ट कि ये क्यों हुआ है.
वो मेरे को ठीक लग रहा था.
That's all. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Effort तुम्हारा है.
Awesome.
न्यूज़पेपर में and we used to take a ballpoint pen and ऐसी गंदी सी दाढ़ी मूंछ बनाते थे हम उनके चेहरे पे. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. But we're gonna do that on billboards. We're gonna take the existing brand ambassadors of boat, Guru Randhawa, Hardik Pandya, and we're gonna create fake brands, Diane perfume, Cropo phones, KDH masale, and ये billboards हम लगाएंगे ऐसी जगह पे जहाँ पे सब देखेंगे and इनके चेहरों पे हम बनाएंगे वही सेम गंदी गंदी दाढ़ी मूछे. और फिर क्या होगा?
इसके बाद हम कोलैब करेंगे बाबा लबर डब डब के साथ, जो कि है एक मीम एजेंसी. What they do is they take your content and seed it on Instagram and make it viral. Once it is viral, that is what we are gonna do.
जैसे ही ऐड वायरल हो जाएगा हम करेंगे अपना ऐड ड्रॉप. शायद आपको ये नहीं पता होगा कि बोट मिसफिट ट्रिमर्स बनाता है, पर आपको ये जरूर पता होगा कि ये स्टेप कौन करता है.
तो इसी बॉलीवुड के एस्पेक्ट को लेके हम बनाने जा रहे हैं अपना ऐड. तो इस ऐड का कॉन्टेक्स्ट कुछ यूं है कि हम लेके आएंगे इस देश के सबसे आइकॉनिक कैरेक्टर्स विद देयर मोस्ट आइकॉनिक लुक्स, बट विद अ लिटिल ट्विस्ट. लाइट्स, कैमरा एंड एक्शन.
जवानों, क्या आप इस मिशन के लिए तैयार हैं? कमांडोज, हाउस द जोश.
बाय सर, इस गोटी के साथ तो बिल्कुल नहीं हो पाएगा. नेक्स्ट सीन.
फ्लावर नहीं, फायर है मैं.
बट नाथुराम की मूंछ के साथ कैसे फायर बनेगा रे तू?
ये लड़की मेरी है।
ऐसे तो कोई लड़की नहीं पटेगी।
अबे हट।
And that is where our product window comes in. With our tagline, गलत trim यानी character dim. Misfit by boats. Character बन यार।
Guys, मतलब I would say good energy, good presentation, but very bad ads. I'll tell you why. Celebrities will never like it कि आप उनकी दाढ़ी खराब कर दो, उनका फेस खराब कर दो, because what they sell is their face value. Correct? तो पहला कैंपेन तो वहाँ खत्म हो जाता है।
टेक्निकल इश्यूज तो है कि वो कोई भी सेलिब्रिटी का फोटो डाल के आप न्यूज़पेपर पे उनके ऊपर वो स्क्विगल कर रहे हैं। दैट्स व्हाट यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट। नो, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कांग्रेट्स ऑन बीइंग द ओनली टीम दैट रोट अ 30 सेकंड वर्जन। ठीक है, एवरीबॉडी एल्स रोट लाइक अ 2 मिनटर। तो मेरे को जो बेसिक्स थे ना, वो मेरे को लगे कि हाँ बेसिक्स सही है।
So this needs refinement at a lot of levels.
You guys have very concrete feedback to work on, and we have to now reiterate. I'm sure you guys will come back stronger, much stronger. I have so much trust. This was beautiful, though.
Me too.
Seriously.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. Love it.
You're down but not out. So yeah, go for it.
There you go.
अब बस क्रिएट करने के लिए वी विल गेट ऑल कॉमेडियंस, इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, तन्मय के फ्रेंड्स एंड सब टिपिकल बोट एड्स अपने इंस्टाग्राम पे पोस्ट करेंगे, बट सारे के सारे रोस्ट हो जाएंगे। बस्ती के पोस्ट पे कमेंट्स आ रहे हैं कि भाई तूने 10 साल से दाढ़ी नहीं काटी है, तू क्या ट्रिमर बेच रहा है। फिर आया समय रैना को लोग कह रहे भाई ये पैसे के लिए तो कुछ भी कर देगा। एंड दे ऑल ऑफ देम गॉट टुगेदर एंड आस्क फॉर वन पर्सन कि तन्मय भाई प्लीज हेल्प कर दो।
यार गाइस कर क्या रहे हो यार तुम? कब तक YouTube से पैसा कमा के तो मैं चलाता रहूंगा? कभी तो खुद ही अच्छी सी ऐड बना दो यार प्लीज यार।
तन्मय भाई आइडिया है यार।
बोलो।
सारे ट्रिमर्स को लेके रोस्ट कर देते हैं भाई।
रोस्ट पे मत जाना, मैं भुगत चुका हूं। नेक्स्ट
सीन 2।
सर इंडिया में आबादी सबसे ज्यादा किसकी है? ऑफिस गोइंग आदमी की। सर उसको एक्स्ट्रा बैटरी लाइफ बेच देते हैं।
यार ये अपने 2015 के आइडिया 2015 में लेके जाओ ना ये प्लीज यार।
सीन 3।
तन्मय ब्रो
बता ब्रो
मर्द को मर्दानगी बेचते हैं ब्रो, शक्ति बेचते हैं, टफ है अपने ब्लेड्स यार, टाइटेनियम ब्लेड्स है।
मैं जाकिर खान लगता हूँ, ये फर्जी मुशायरा चल रहा है।
सीन 3। अरे मेरा गेम है ब्रो, हो जाएगा। ओ तन्मय व्हाट्सअप क्या चल रहा है?
अमन भाई कैसे हैं आप?
अरे ग्रेट। चल यार जल्दी कुछ दिखा, फिर मुझे शूटिंग में निकलना है।
अमन भाई क्या ट्रिमर बनाया तुमने, पॉकेट फ्रेंडली एकदम टाइटेनियम ब्लेड्स, लॉन्ग लास्टिंग, मजा आ गया।
बात बताऊं तन्मय, तू बंदा बहुत सही है। अरे मैंने मेरे वाली हसल दिखती है यार मुझे डे 1 से। ये ले चेक, इक्विटी की बाद में बात कर लेंगे। चल रख। बस सुन, ऐड मुझे पीयूष से बड़ी चाहिए, दिखा फटाफट।
हम कर रहे हैं अभी, बस एड स्टिच हो रही है, शंकर लेकर आ ही रहा होगा भाई। ऐड
नहीं हो रहा तुझसे, ये भी मैं ही बना लूं? क्या कर रहा है यार? सिंपल तो है ब्रो, क्या सुपर कूल प्रोडक्ट है, छोटा सा कॉम्पैक्ट, जेब में ले घूमता हूं मैं, स्टाइलिश है, पॉकेट फ्रेंडली है। ये सब बता और बेच। नहीं हो रहा ना, मेरा नाम डाल दे। ये देश या तो अपने मन की सुन रहा है या अमन की सुन रहा है, किसी को नहीं बोलूंगा मेरा आइडिया था। फटाफट शूटिंग की तैयारी कर।
एड कैंपेन का क्या करना है?
अरे अमन की सुन लो।
ओ मिल गया हैशटैग। सो दिस इज वेयर आवर हीरो फिल्म एंड्स, जिसमें कि सबको लग रहा रहेगा कि तन्मय विल ऑब्वियसली कम अप विद द बेस्ट एड फिल्म आइडिया, बट ही कुडंट। एंड अमन को लग रहा है कि बहुत ही ईजी है गाइस, इतना डिफिकल्ट क्या है, ऐसे ही बिक जाएगा ट्रिमर, तो बोट का है। एंड दिस इज वेयर द बैटल बिगिंस। सो इन द पोस्ट बस अमन विल पोस्ट ऑन हिज इंस्टाग्राम कि जितने भी लोग हैं वो ट्रिमर खरीदें और हैशटैग अमन की सुनो के साथ पोस्ट करें। एंड फॉर एंगेजमेंट तन्मय fans will actually make these videos to help him create the best ad, because how can he not create the best ad for this? So this is how we wrap up our campaign, and we hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. That's our time. Thank you.
It's an opportunity wasted to me. This like self-indulgent thinking of an ad, and that's the ad, and won't you want to write an ad directly talking about the brand, and it's an opportunity to position yourselves in some way.
So I think Tanmay, I agree also and I disagree here. I'll tell you why. This whole campaign can be the before the 20 crores comes in. I don't know whether if tell me if I'm
social पे करना है।
इससे आपको सोशल में अगर आपने 1 करोड़ भी डाल के अगला 20 करोड़ का कैंपेन आइडिएशन आ जाए, तो I don't think it's a bad idea.
It's a great pre-buzz.
So I'll tell you where it is negative. Some people don't also like to be कि बॉस मेरे को आइडिया नहीं आ रहा, और मेरी टीम ऐसी नहीं है। Is that true?
हाँ, I'm okay with saying idea नहीं आ रहा, but it's just कि तब मैंने इतने ad बनाए इसलिए अगले वाला it's just
pompous नहीं होना चाहिए.
Pompous नहीं होना है. The worst opening act for Jerry Seinfeld is someone who introduces Jerry Seinfeld as, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the funniest comedian in the world coming on stage right now. He's gonna make you laugh out. तुम लोग हंस के लेट जाओगे, मतलब तुम्हारी नानी मर जाएगी, ऐसे तुम हंसोगे. इतना प्रेशर कोई लेना ही नहीं चाहता यार. You wanna have low expectation and over deliver always.
Although इनका फीडबैक मोस्टली और अच्छा हो जाता अगर अच्छी फोटो डाल देते इनकी. प्रॉब्लम सारी वहां थी. चलो, good job guys.
Thank you so much. Honestly, after a point, it felt like we were speaking to different marketing agencies about real brand briefs. Each team had their own unique element to pitch. All in all, we really liked Big Bold Comics' tagline, whereas Brand Buddhi got the audio connection with board just right, but the rap didn't work much. Team Fuzzy was really smart with the pre-buzz, and Bottomless Brunch had a very simple TVC approach, which was not quite there, though the fundamentals was right. This was just the first of ठीक है. This was pre-pandemic, so streaming was like, at that point it was like, oh, it's a thing. By the time the pandemic rolled around, like all of my peers were streaming. By the time the pandemic, in fact, Samay was a really good friend of mine. उसको तो pandemic lockdown के 4 दिन पहले मैंने उसको बोला कि सुन lockdown आने वाला है. You buy yourself a laptop now. Just trust me, you will end up streaming. Just trust me on this. And then he did, and now he's one of the world's biggest streamers. And I was streaming before it was cool. Okay, and a lot of these boys were streaming way before. So I started streaming, and I just started uploading consistently. Then one day, Modi ji was giving a speech at 8 p.m. And I said, why should I only stream games? I can stream anything, right? Like the core idea here is entertaining person on top of something that everybody is interested in seeing. Like, why does gaming work? Yeah. Right? Why does it work? Because it's like tuning into a football game, okay? Football is also a game. So you put on the TV and you see there's a score line, 0-1. You now have full context to this game. Correct. Right? 75 minutes, 0-1. Oh, this team needs to get another goal to equalize. You have full... That's exactly how games work. Right? If you open PUBG, it's like 25 alive. One person's running with a gun. So like, oh, cool. This person... This is why gaming works. It's one of the problems with Clubhouse, right? When you join a Clubhouse room, there's no context of what's happening.
You're dropping into this conversation in the middle of a party and 4 people are talking about, and then you know what happened? I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
no,
You have no context. But with games, you have immediate context.
Yeah, I think Twitter Spaces is like that too.
Twitter Spaces is like that also.
I mean,
but you don't know what's happening. So that is why, like, now imagine that you're watching a game and there is context, and on top of that, I as a streamer and wanting to entertain, I add more context. So I'll be like face reveal of my Discord admin, right? Which is, oh, if I win this round, किसी का face reveal होगा. Or dancing to Kacha Badam if I lose.
you always do this, right? I'll do Superman dance in the end.
I'll do this. I'll do X if I lose. Just raise the stakes.
And then
right?
people will watch it in the end.
People watch it in
Superman
the
dance.
end. Yeah, because something is going to happen in the
How
end.
many people tune into your... I should know this, but how many people tune into your streams?
Depends on what I'm streaming.
Yeah.
Like if I stream a reaction video, which is my Pakistani chats, if I make a PPT, I'll just stream that. I think I'll cross 100K live watching.
And people don't know when you'll stream. You'll just stream.
I'll just stream. I mean, I know when I'll stream. It'll be 9 p.m. in the night. Okay. Traffic is maximum at 9 p.m. in the night. So if I stream, I think I can clock 100K watching. The most I've clocked is on the day. No, the most I've clocked is while streaming Omegle, where I was just talking to random people on Omegle.
Well, that's interesting.
I clocked 82,000 live.
82,000.
82,000 live. And now when I upload a video, so there's a cool feature on YouTube. It's called YouTube Premiere. Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube Premiere, you premiere a video.
Correct.
And there's a live watching. People can talk to each other while they're watching the video. I watch every premiere of my video. 8 p.m. I'm like, guy, whatever, if I'm on a call, guys, I'm gone for 10 minutes. Because...
You want to see what they're talking about.
Not just what they're usually talking a lot of garbage, okay? they're all this thing. 2 things I like to watch. I like to watch what the live watching is on this video by the end of the premiere. Because that's an indication of CTR. Okay? Because my best videos, they have 40,000 plus concurrent watching in the 15-minute time frame that it's playing. The absolute best videos cross 50K live watching when it's premiering. The bad videos are under 40K or under 30K. That's when you know that इसका CTR ही low है. ये जब premiere हो रहा है उसी पे low चल रहा है. तो ये video नहीं फटने वाला है. Second thing I like to keep an eye out is when the chat is going on And what is reaction videos? It's, hey, a funny reel or a funny meme. On top of that, five comedians trying to get the top comment on that reel. Right?
Oh, it's another game.
It's a game.
It's another game.
It's a game. Because what do you see when you see a funny reel now? You go to the comment section.
Yeah, correct.
Kya bole
What
na?
are people saying?
What are the top comments on this? And top 5 comments are hilarious, right? So this was what I keep telling these
But the
guys.
difference here is that it's concurrent and it's together.
concurrent.
And
It's
it's
together.
someone you know. Someone you
And
relate to.
someone you know, someone you relate to, and with 5 different types of people, right? Like, I don't know if you've seen them recently, but there's a new comedian called Kullu, Kullu is from Bhopal. Okay, me and Rohan are Bombay kids, right? So to have someone so...
His perspective is ekdam alag.
Ekdam alag. His sense of humor is different, and he's so likable. He's very lovable. Okay, so he is so different from Rohan that's an interesting dynamics. Yeah, and then there's Vishal Dayama who says just like ekdam dry humor hai uska. He barely talks, very caustic, very straight face, and he says like he's brutal. So that's also another thing. And then there is me, which is I am the loud, boisterous. I keep the energy going. My job is I'm the orchestra ka conductor jo hota hai na. I am that. Like, I'm keeping an eye on the overall. Is the vibe good? And I'm there to engage chat because 600, 700, 1,000 people are sometimes watching the members only stream. And a lot of people want to contribute, right? And there's if 1,000 people are trying to make jokes, they're going to beat the 5 people who are trying to make jokes, right? Because there's 1,000 brains to it.
Do you get ideas on it while you're actually streaming?
Of course, yeah. So I always say, किसी ने बोला है, and they get validated. They feel like, wow, my joke made it to.
And I'm part of the arena. I'm not just a spectator.
तुम मीम देख रहे हो और तुम बोल रहे हो कि इस पे सबसे फनी कमेंट क्या आ सकता है, तुम 1 घंटा सोचोगे. That's an hour of creative work. It's exhausting. So I can already, तो stream चल रहा होता है by minute 50. I'm like, अच्छा, energy down होने लग जाएगा अभी. चलो, last 3 meme guys, we're going to finish this, don't worry. So it's down to like a process now.
And then you did 10 videos last month, you were telling me.
Yeah, I did 10 videos last month.
Which is like a lot.
Which is a lot.
Is this going to increase or decrease? Like, how do you throttle in, throttle out content, right? Like, this is tough.
So this is the game, right? Which is, how do you innovate such that you still continue to be fresh?
Yeah.
While also giving people what they want, right? So it has to be, this is a spikes and waves analogy that I have, which is that every now and then you want to do something that's like, nah, kuch alag ho gaya is baar. Arre, ye to cool hi ho gaya. Ye to maza hi aa gaya. Like I remember when I was doing Pitai reviews, okay. I don't know, you won't know what a Pitai review is. I'll explain.
Why will I not know what a Pitai review is? I don't know.
Because you are not my demographic, okay. Pitai review is where there's a genre on YouTube where all these kids, they pull pranks from their parents.
Okay.
Parents find out और आके पिटाई करते हैं बच्चों की. ठीक है. So I would just watch these videos with comedians.
No, and the kids are taping this.
The kids are taping this.
Wow.
So
harami kids.
There is a guarantee payoff, which is pitai.
Right.
Okay. So 10 minute का video होगा, you watch the whole thing और end में पिटाई होती है. ठीक है. So I started watching these during the pandemic and they're so funny. They started doing really well. Then I was like, okay, what is the next thing that I can find? So if my YouTube channel was a TV channel, this is one show. ये आता है शाम के 7:30 बजे रविवार को. ठीक है. So अब अगला programming क्या है? And then something happened. I discovered these Uber chats that happened. And then I did one episode on that. वो फट गया. Then I was like, okay, now this is the second show that I can keep running. So I'm always on the lookout for what's the next show. What is the next thing?
Which is basically what you're interested in, right? It's always around this center of you is like, मेरे को ये पसंद है, I like this, I'm going to create something around it. And if it's naturally, I find it naturally interesting.
The
people
key
will
is
naturally find interesting.
if everybody in the room responds to it, it's most likely the audience will respond.
That's your MVP, and then that's
my
production.
MVP. If the room responds to it, जब record करते हो तब पता चल जाता है यार कि आज का सही है. Like you just know, like you can't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
So I recently tried reacting to horror videos. Right?
Horror videos?
Yeah, like really scary videos. Jump scares.
Okay.
5 comedians who are all fattus. सबकी गांड फटी थी. रात के 2 बजे हमने record किया. And we're watching. And polarizing response. Okay. Can you guess what would have happened to this video? So there's a section of audience who loves it.
Okay.
Because horror comedy is like constant stimulation to your brain, right?
Yeah.
डर भी लग रहा है फिर हंसी भी आ रही है. Like it's non-stop. That's great. But I didn't foresee that the average retention on this video plummeted. क्योंकि बहुत लोगों की गांड फट गई. और उन्होंने वीडियो बंद कर दिया. वीडियो बंद कर दिया उन्होंने.
Oh shit, man.
Right? तो उसका click through rate बहुत high है, which is everybody wanted to kill.
drop-off rate is super
सबको लगता है कि horror देख सकते हो. फिर जब गांड फटते हैं सब निकल आते हैं. So the average view duration on this is really low. So I went like shit. ये एक series गया. तो ये मैंने तीर मारा और ये नहीं चला. So like okay, what's the next? What's the next thing that I can try? और ये ऐसा नहीं है कि ये out है because of like ये तो it's like mathematical, right? View duration on horror videos will always be low. क्योंकि फट रही है लोगों की. It'll always be for a type of a niche. They really love it. Is that worth pursuing? I don't know. Maybe I might do another video and see.
Pitai videos.
Pitai review, universal acceptance. Everybody likes seeing children get beaten
Highly
up by
relatable.
parents. Highly relatable. Whole country loves it. So Pitai review will go on. Look, topicality beats everything, right?
Okay.
If something happened and you talk about it immediately, you're probably gonna get views, right? This is the news channel industry is
Relevant search results, people searching for it. People
news
share
channel
it.
news channel क्या है? News channel is nothing
Cycle
but
है.
reacting to news ही है ना. News channel भी तो.
Oh, interesting.
वही क्या है? तुम
super interesting.
आठ पैनलिस्ट को बिठाते
React
हो. रिएक्ट करो.
हाँ, सही बोल रहा है.
अच्छा रिएक्शन क्यों नहीं दे रहे हो? ए पाकिस्तानी जनरल तेरे को लाया मैं काय के लिए?
सही बोल रहा है, सही
रिएक्ट
बोल
कर अच्छा. So it's that only. Except their reaction is not funny. It's dramatic.
Yeah.
So topicality always works. So for example, if in 1 week, okay, इस महीने का मैं इस हफ्ते का मैं मीम रिएक्शन करता हूँ. अब मीम्स किस पे बनेंगे? जो टॉपिकल है.
हाँ.
ठीक है. तो वो मीम अगर एपिसोड में है तो बन गया टाइटल.
मस्त.
Yeah. So the videos automatically become relevant because I'm reacting to stuff that's topical.
It's perfect.
Does that make sense?
अभी क्या चल रहा है? अभी तो देखो I see Twitter, I see Elon. कुछ क्रिप्टो एक्सचेंजेस के साथ ही कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग स्टफ हुआ है.
वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा है.
वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा है.
World Cup चल रहा है. So the last couple of videos, there's one video that I put up, which is T20 World Cup review. Number 1 in my last 10 videos. It's debuted at number 1. Did really well. Virat is super hot right now.
Correct.
I'm going to upload a video today with Surya Kumar Yadav in the title. Because Surya Kumar Yadav just crushed it. So I just know now only, oh, this is going to crush. Because there's like 5 memes about Surya Kumar Yadav. So I'm like, this is going to crush today.
This is just you. This is a bunch of friends also reacting to it.
Yeah. This is
Same format.
The OG gang, we call
Dude,
it.
you don't.
It's very fun, yeah. Because cricket is like, there's like, it keeps the conversation going. कि आज मैच खत्म हो गया, फिर हम सोशल मीडिया पे तो देख ही रहे हैं ना सूर्य कुमार यादव के मीम्स, ये तो देख ही रहे हैं.
हाँ.
And तो why won't they watch it on TV as well? Because it's really fun content.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is good. This transition is happening. You see, this is beautiful.
Bro, I did
It's happened.
reacting to finance memes also honestly.
How did that go?
Really well. Crushed, one of the best performing videos on honestly. Crushed. Way more people saw it than our trading series.
Oh, dude, please.
That
is not true.
It's at 1 million views reacting to finance content. Then I did an episode where I reacted to philosophy content. Philosophy memes. I can react to fitness memes.
That would be interesting. Have you done that?
I have. I already did one episode. Did really well. It's at 150k views. The thing is, memes are just how people learn now. It's just constantly on your phone. You're constantly seeing.
But you know what's interesting? So I've always seen this, right? We were talking about this last year when we were in the hotel, right? When we were recording, and I think you said, people think I'll make a video and I'll get a sponsor and that's how I make money. That's not true. That's not how acting works. That's not how singing works. You don't make money from the main content, not necessarily.
I mean,
you
not
make it
from
stuff
the
around it, right? Talk about that a little bit, right? You may not make money from a video that you upload. You're not even doing it for that, right? But
no.
Correct? You're attracting audiences. You're engaging them.
Yeah. So, for example, like this is what I was going for here was that if you look at Virat Kohli net worth, match fee and BCCI fee is way lower than branded fee.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like similar for Bollywood as well.
Yeah.
What actors make for a movie is dwarfed in comparison to what they would make from the roster of brands.
Not Akshay Kumar though, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, Akshay Kumar. I mean, I don't know how well Ram Setu did, so I can't comment. I haven't kept up with the box office. But yeah, you make money from around
Even singers, right? Like you listen to streams all the time. The publishers make the money, but singers
live
are
shows.
also...
Live shows are where the game's at.
Exactly.
Right? So the game is the same, which is create a very strong brand. That's your main gig.
Community.
That's your main gig, which is create a strong brand, have people resonate with your brand. Then ways to monetize will come around you. So the game is like, for me, like I like to think of it as, I think having a distribution is the superpower. Ways to monetize it, they'll always be around. Joe Rogan is a great example, right? 10 years, same podcast. And then, and he actually didn't even monetize it with brands, right? Joe was completely clean.
Yeah.
He never did any sponsorship. And then boom, one day Spotify deal, right?
and super long, super deep. Like, I mean, if you say podcast, like, I mean, it's a joke.
Yeah, it's insane. Like he does 4-hour podcasts
And he had weed with some interesting people live.
Yeah,
That did really well.
Like Lex Friedman is a great example.
Lex Friedman.
Lex
And I
Friedman. I'm setting up my terrace now. I have
you
a couple
access to the terrace. Is it your terrace?
It is there's a portion of the terrace that's
To this
for
house.
for this house. So I'm now setting it up, and I'm going to make a recordable thing there. And I'm also in the space where I can't work alone. Okay, I hate working alone, which is why like Revant edits from here. Like I always have folks who I can, like Kullu is dropping by for 10 days now. There's a guest room here, so people can keep coming. So I'm now in the process of, maybe it's time to have a writer's room for all the different ideas that I have.
And that's going up in the terrace.
That'll probably be on the terrace along with the shooting space there.
Only if there's a good idea, you can come down at the upper hero.
I just want to be in a room where there are other creative people and we're all always doing something or the other. 0 to 1 is the most fun. And if you can be 0 to 1 in like 10 things,
Yeah.
right, then you cannot be bored. You just like, I'm always doing.
Yeah,
I'm
boredom is
always
like
doing.
1 to 10 because you're like scaling. Scaling is about repetition, consistency, SOPs.
Yeah, but it's so useful.
Like,
I've-
अच्छी चीजें
I've-
बोलो please अभी.
It like scaling is, if you can go 0 to 1 and scale, fuck, you're king, right? Like I've been wanting to do a show about like I'm losing weight now. Can I make some content out of it? But I was like, look, if I truly want to lose weight,
Yeah.
it is the most boring content because you're doing the same thing every day and you don't have to fuck around with the routine, right? You like habit stacking is a good tweet, but it's very boring
To
visually.
actually do, yeah. Because it's not interesting, right?
It's not interesting.
Yeah.
It's like Sati used to say, like imagine watching a movie about a painter. Would you want to watch 10 minutes of someone
entire
painting?
movie.
I'm crazy. You don't want to watch people write. You don't want to watch people paint. Like that's awful.
But that's where like all geniuses, not geniuses, but like that's where genius comes from, right? Like just beating at your craft over a really long period of time.
Yeah. तो लोग scripts में हमेशा लिखते हैं. And then we see Rahul sat and pondered. I'm like, this is not cinematic. It's not. Watching someone ponder is like, watching someone ponder is not fun to watch. Similarly, watching someone lose weight, if I shot just me walking, like it has to be filled with challenges. It has to be, okay, what's the thing that happens in this? And I'm scared of doing that because what if that wrecks my routine? Like you can't let that fuck around. And challenges are often extreme, right? And then there's the messaging of like, do you want to do something extreme to lose weight? Is that the message you want to put out? I don't think people should do that.
No, but it's also good for you, right? Like I've seen you off camera, like you're on your phone a lot, you're checking what's happening. Like there's so much happening in your life, right? So I imagine like when you're at least swimming or walking or working out, dude, you're away from the phone. I hope you don't take your phone to
Inside
when you're in
the swimming pool,
right?
I do sometimes.
What?
No, but only to shoot. I've made 2-3 reels.
I saw 2 photos of you.
Yeah.
बहुत सही था.
उसी दिन मैं 3 घंटा बस pool में था दर्शित के साथ, and we made a bunch of reels, and I have like some more that I have to put out.
But it's kind of meditative, right? You're away from your phone, you're working out, like it's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Being away from phone, that's the next habit, right? I'm trying to habit stack. So I figured out how to sleep early and get up early.
How are you sleeping? Sleeping well. You get 8 hours, 7-8 hours.
Yeah, I get 7-8 hours easy. Some things that have helped. Shutting lights off early has helped. Now push comes to shove, I will just get my ass into bed by 11:30. I'm just like, whatever happens.
And what time are you getting up?
8:30.
This is amazing, man. So this is like,
I mean, 8:30 is like really late. I should want to
but it's
put
okay.
it out.
It's better than 2, right? I mean,
better than 2. So getting in early, and I'm trying a weighted blanket. Have you ever tried a weighted blanket?
Is a weighted blanket.
So I read a thing about your deep sleep goes up if you use a weighted blanket. Like I was following
like
this
a
guy.
heavy blanket.
It's a 12 kg blanket.
A 12 kg.
A blanket is 12
so
kg.
you feel like cocooned.
You feel cocooned.
Cocooned.
You feel cocooned. So I've been trying that, and
You
I've
have
been
it here, kya? I'll go check.
Yeah, I have it here. You can sleep on my bed and see and everything.
अच्छा तन्मय, टेल मी वन थिंग. जब भी एक वीडियो अपलोड करते हो तो व्हाट इज तन्मय बट थिंकिंग बिफोर अपलोडिंग अ वीडियो या टॉपिक सोचने से पहले कि यार मैं ये टॉपिक लेता हूँ?
There's the most primal thought that every creator should have is, what does your audience want to watch next? You got to keep giving them what they want.
एकदम स्टार्टअप की तरह होता है. It's very similar, the content creation journey and a regular product at a, you know, take a fintech company startup for example. You got to double down on what your users like. At the same time, you got to have 4 experiments running. So this is how I usually run. अब मेरी महीने के 15 वीडियोस आते हैं मेरे between the 2 channels roughly. मेन चैनल पे ये वीडियो जनता को पसंद आया, इसका इस सीरीज में एक और सोचते, प्लस इसके जैसा फटने वाला अगला क्या है. Is what I usually think. तो पाकिस्तानी और सैवेज चल गया, तो उसके बाद मैंने इंडियंस और सैवेज शुरू किया. अभी वो 2-3 वीडियोस डिसेंट जा रहे, not as big as पाकिस्तानी और सैवेज. So that experiment will likely stop. And the next one is, okay, what's the next series that I can continue? जब मैं वीडियो अपलोड कराता हूँ, एक तो monthly I like to see graph going green. Second, I look at how many comments the video is usually getting, because I think a video that generates more responses, that compels people to come in and comment, those usually perform really well. In fact, there is a big correlation between number of subscribers to number of comments. At least on my channel, I've noticed that in a month that I have got more comments, I usually have more subscribers. And my last metric is how many unique viewers are watching me. These are 3-4 metrics that I like to see. Unique viewers, because मैंने Instagram पे डाला था that last month 1.2 crore unique people saw my content and they watched it 5 or 6 times, 5 or 6 average views a month. उसने बताया unique viewers से usually conversion, ये sales tactic है ना. If I spray wider, I'm likely to convert more people. तो funnel के अंदर आते हैं. And to me the funnel is game खेलने के लिए या मस्ती करने के लिए लोग आते हैं, फिर उसके बाद मेरा सेकंड चैनल डिस्कवर करते हैं और फिर कुछ सीखते हैं वहां पे. So this is my funnel. So these are 3-4 things that I look at while uploading. And last, which is if you're operating at scale, which you know folks like you do, which is effort to return ratio भी एक देखना पड़ता है कि कितना एफर्ट मारने पे क्या आता है. तो एक टाइम था, like I am a big fan of seeing कि मिनिमम लोगों में मैक्सिमम काम कैसे हो सकता है. तो अब मैंने फॉर एग्जांपल शुरुआत में मैंने मीम्स पे रिएक्ट करना शुरू किया. मैं रेडिट पे मीम्स दिखता रहा, तो अब मैंने लाइव स्ट्रीम में बोल दिया कि मुझे कोई इंजीनियर चाहिए जो स्क्रैप करके देगा मुझे कि आज इंडिया किस पे हंस रहा है, मुझे वो देखना है. क्योंकि माय एंड गोल विद माय वीडियोस इज यू शुड फील लाइक यू आर सिटिंग विद सम फ्रेंड्स एंड यू आर वाचिंग सम मीम्स एंड यू आर हैविंग फन. मीम्स तो एक डोपामिन रिलीज है ही, और साथ में अगर 4 कॉमेडियंस और एक्स्ट्रा डोपामिन दे दे तो मजा ही आ जाएगा 10-12 मिनट में. So now I'm trying to build that scraper to see what's the most ideal way. तो खुद की प्रोडक्ट साइड पे बन रही है, ऐसे ही एक इंजीनियर के साथ बैठ के डिस्कस करता हूँ क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे होना चाहिए, वगैरह वगैरह. So this is the last thing, which is effort to return ratio, कि मिनिमम टाइम में जितना आउटपुट हो सकता है, that'll be very fun.
What is the average watch time of your videos? Comedy?
About between 8.5 minutes. This mid last year, we began at mid last year. I was at about 6.5 minutes. So I've been able to bring that up dramatically. But it has to be a sweet spot, right? Like watch time is important, but watch time can be gamed. If I start putting up 30-minute videos, watch time will naturally go up. Because my completion rates is what I want to maximize. My completion rates are at 69-70% is the average. On bad videos, they go down to about 60%. On good videos, they hit 72-73%. On really good videos, they usually do that. I think the Pakistanis are savage does 70 plus. So these are the average numbers. तो ये सब मजेदार है यार. YouTube डैशबोर्ड ये तो प्रोडक्ट ही तो है, ये स्टार्टअप ही तो है, ये तो मेट्रिक्स तो चेस कर रहे हैं हम. It's not much different.
I studied your editing कि किस प्रकार से engagement के लिए, and what I witnessed is कि screen जैसे अभी हम Zoom पे record कर रहे हैं, 2 होंगे या चलो 3-4 guest हुए, but constant zoom in zoom out, zoom in zoom out, zoom in zoom out होता है. तो वो चीज क्या you thought कि shorts है तो engaging, screen changing, क्योंकि मैंने देखा in fact we tried to do it also कि यार मिथपैट वाला जो था, हमने कहा यार बहुत बोरिंग बात करी है मैंने, ये थोड़ा सा करके देखो
कैसे आगे पीछे जाए.
हाँ, कि मान लो मैं एक चीज बोल रहा हूँ तो एक बार फुल स्क्रीन दिख रहा है, फिर एक बार वो दिख रहा है, फिर वो जूम आउट हो रहा है, फिर वो बात, फिर तन में
तो लोगों के कॉन्वर्सेशन में नहीं होता है वो. वो जब बकचोदी होती रहती है, ये होता रहता है, तभी वो see there are some rules to content creation which I spent 10 years on stage, so there's some understanding of it. देखो, at the end of the day, learning और entertainment में एक ही चीज common है, which is dopamine release, right? Why is learning harder today? क्योंकि there is much easier access to dopamine. जब आप कुछ सीखते हो, जब आप एक मैथ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते हो, तो जब आपको आंसर मिलता है तो एक डोपामिन रिलीज होता है ब्रेन में, पर वो डोपामिन रिलीज होने के लिए मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. अब मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती. दिस इज व्हाई लर्निंग हैज बिकम हार्डर. Similarly, dopamine release happens in many different ways. Most jokes are what? Jokes are pleasant surprises. Jokes are 1, 2 and flip. मैंने सेटअप किया, तुमको लगता है कि ये होने वाला है, पर फिर ये बोल देता हूं मैं. तो suddenly your body responds with laughter. So you get dopamine when there's a pleasant surprise. You also get dopamine when you heighten anticipation and then you deliver what was anticipated. This is almost all EDM music. So why does it make you feel good? Because in your brain you're like, this is going to come, and it happens. Why does this happen? Amygdala is a part of your brain जो sounds और सारे words को process करता है, और if it's able to predict what's going to happen, that's better for procreation and hence it releases dopamine. These are very deep. मैंने neuroscience का एक series किया था, उसमें ये सब सीखा था. तो similarly, content जब आप video देखते हो, तो I just want to constantly keep surprising or stimulating you. This can happen in different ways. It can happen through zoom in. It can happen through cuts. It can happen through music takeaways. तो music चल रहा है और मुझे कोई punchline enunciate करना है, तो music कट जाता है, तो तब मैं punchline बोल देता हूँ, या फिर मैं हंसता हूँ. Right? Like my laughter is the laugh track to your session with your friends, right? Which came very naturally because जब मैंने शुरू किया था तब मुझे पता नहीं था जनता बोलेगी कि इतना तन्मय की हंसी देख के मुझे हंसी आती है. फिर मुझे बाद में रियलाइज है कि ऑफ कोर्स जब मैं कंटेंट देख रहा हूँ, तो जब बंदे को मजा आ रहा होता है तो आपको भी मजा आता है. So these are little tricks. तो मैं I love editing. Editing is my favorite part of. I used to love it at AIV. I love it here. एडिटर को नोट्स
वीडियो खुद एडिट करते हो?
नहीं, मेरे एडिटर्स हैं एंड देयर ऑल रियली यंग. देयर 18, 19, ब्रिलियंट. देयर रियली गुड. आई लव सिटिंग विद देम एंड उनको मैं आज हर वीडियो जो भी रिलीज होती है उनके एडिट्स में पर्सनली देखता हूँ. ऐसे ही ओबीएस खुला होता है, वीडियो चल रही होती है और मैं अपने वीडियो जिसमें मैं रिएक्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैं उस पर रिएक्ट करता हूँ. यहाँ पे रोकता हूँ कि यहाँ पे म्यूजिक काट दे, यहाँ पे ऐड कर दे, यहाँ पे ऐड कर दे, ये मीम हटा दे, इससे मेरी शक्ल पे क्यों है, देखना जाकिर इतना फनी रिएक्शन दे रहा है, जाकिर के मुंह पे जाना इतना मजेदार लग रहा है वो. तो ऐसे मैं ओबीएस पे रिकॉर्ड करता हूँ और मैं फीडबैक भेजता हूँ, फिर वो फिक्स करते हैं, फिर वापस भेजते हैं, फिर मैं दोबारा 2 राउंड्स ऑफ फीडबैक हैपेंस ऑन एवरी वीडियो. डेली रात को सोने से पहले मैं वीडियो फीडबैक देता हूँ. दिस इज माई प्रोसेस. आई लव वॉचिंग वीडियोज एंड आई लव गिविंग edit feedback. AIV में edit room में एक बिस्तर होता था मेरे लिए. I used to just sleep there. Once you shoot a video, then for 20 days I'm gone on this editing. So this is why it's all over the place. People underestimate ये जो work from home का अभी culture है. I think people underestimate how much learning happens just through hanging out around other people. So I'm a shameless Zoom call. Like, can I request for your time? Can I get 30 minutes with you? I want to ask you about this. So a lot of my learning happens through that, just being around people. तो weekends पे अब तो मैं founder के घर पे ही जाता हूँ. This is my weekend plan. पार्टी वार्टी नहीं होती है, बस बैठ के founder के साथ ही बैठ के बातें होती है मेरी. सीखने बहुत मिलता है. All of this again ties into dopamine thresholds of today.
Yeah.
Okay. So
say more about that.
So per unit of, I'll call it effort, right? Sorry, per unit of content. Yeah. As dopamine thresholds go up, okay, per unit effort put in per unit of content on the platform has to keep going up, right? Like there was a time where reels were shot on phone. Now you have a category called Instagram DOPs. For charging $25,000 rate to come and shoot in your house. It's legit, right? Like fashion influencers and all, they have the Instagram DOP, which is gimbal लगाया phone के ऊपर gimbal लगा के घर के अंदर मिनी स्टूडियो बनता है. और ये
एक बात बताओ, डू यू सी अ पॉजिटिव लाइक डायरेक्ट कोरिलेशन ऑफ प्रोडक्शन वैल्यू टू हाउ वेल अ क्रिएटिव डज, और इज इट एन इनवर्स कोरिलेशन कि एक्चुअली जितना वोयरिस्टिक लगता है, जितना
I'll explain.
I think इसमें मेरे को बहुत ही लाइक
I'll explain. Okay. Does production value help? Yeah, it does. Okay, so per unit of effort or as saturation increases, effort put into per unit of content or extremism attributed to per unit of content, whether it be ideological extremism, okay, or any other kind. Okay,
Like shock value, basically.
keeps going up.
Yeah.
This goes across. This
That's a
works
very
on
good point.
Instagram. It works on dating as well, right?
Since how dating?
Because dopamine threshold is so high, you're just left, right, swiping on so many people. Actually, yeah. If you are starting off, from the outside, it feels like this creatorverse is so saturated, etc. That's because you're looking at entertainment creators. Like, I think entertainment creators have it the toughest.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
because it's so saturated.
Yeah.
But also the pie is much bigger.
So hard to do.
Yeah, it's pie is much bigger in terms of amount of sponsorship money that's coming in. If you are just starting off, I would say, like, find your niche. Okay, no matter what the niche is. For example, I don't know who India's best content creator is when it comes to HR, people management. I don't know. I don't know. Is there an audience for it? Fuck yes. Every single person who goes to an office is an audience.
Yeah.
Can you launch an HR, can you launch an office brand with
HRX.
can you launch a good name? Can you launch an HR brand can you launch an office brand with something specific to HR? Launch a consultancy out of it? Yeah, it's a wide space. I think niche is a great place to go. I think niche is I know plenty of examples in the West, like guy who makes content by cleaning gardens is running a $4 million a year
There's a guy
business.
who only talks about Excel code.
Only that. That's a brand.
Only the state of one particular small niche area.
Yeah.
Like literally just Bandra.
Just doing that,
Yeah.
and by product of just GDP of country and purchasing power, there's a decent sized business to build. The guy literally who cleans gardens, it's just one setup, one camera, और वो टाइम लैप्स लगा देते हैं उसको और गार्डन साफ करते हैं और मैं सब कुछ देख लेता हूँ उसको क्योंकि कितना खूबसूरत लगता है जब गार्डन बन जाता है प्यार से काटते हैं
अरे mukbang, people just eating in front of the camera.
just eating whatever. So start off in a niche. Where if you're in a niche, like if you can start a service brand, I think you'll be able to see dollar from day
अभी
one.
तूने बोला पैसे मिल रहे हैं तो ब्रांड क्यों शुरू कर रहे हो?
मैं सर्विस ब्रांड बोल रहा हूँ ना मैं सर्विस ब्रांड बोल रहा हूँ सर्विस ब्रांड बोल रहा हूँ मैं सर्विस ब्रांड बोल रहा हूँ it's I don't there's only anecdotal data for me, but if you are an individual who has gathered trust, it's easier to convert me into a service faster. So you're probably likely seeing dollar first, right? So if
Also very similar to education courses, right? Like it's almost similar to a service.
yeah. Value for money ढूंढ रहा है ना बंदा.
I think step one exactly what you said is credibility पहले बना लो.
Because you are the product.
Yeah.
वैल्यू फॉर मनी ढूंढ रहा है मेरे को लगता है कि इसका कोर्स करने से या फिर मेरा टाइम बचेगा या फिर मेरा पैसा बचेगा लाइकली पैसा बचेगा या फिर मेरे को बेटर जॉब मिलेगा या फिर मैं ज़्यादा पैसा कमाऊंगा ये मेन हुक्स तो यही है और सर्विस में मैं पैसे दे रहा हूँ तो मेरे को क्लियर सर्विस मिल रहा है so you'll see a lot of these are already starting to happen which is
What are some examples of service?
I was just getting to it. Some examples are here. Service business.
जो 40 करोड़ पैट की बात कर ये मेरे को लगता है 40 एग्जैक्ट
Only 50. No, man, but I know of a creator. I was speaking to a creator 2 nights ago who was telling me his absolute bonker numbers that he's doing. Anyway, for example, I know a couple of creators who make beauty content, but have a nail salon.
Oh, really?
Right? Nail salon, which is like
Trying to guess what I can't think of again.
Yeah, like it's a hardcore service business. You come to my store and I am at my store every day and I'm doing this. So these kind of examples, I think you'll keep seeing more and more because individual trust lead to a service is the quickest part to seeing dollar on day one. This is random advice. And the phrase here that I like to use is skills before thrills, bro.
No. Yeah.
Like this will ensure that you will never get dicked over by life. Like if you have this, like sometimes I feel like actually my core skill is just being able to string words together interestingly. At the heart of it, which is the 25 years of just writing and performing and just writing and performing. Because all of a sudden, what all can I monetize? I can be a corporate show host, I can be a writer, I can write ads, I can make YouTube videos, I can vlog, I can do this. Because core skill एक बार develop हो गया ना. और आजकल problem वही है, we're back to dopamine regulation, which is that very early on, you get sucked into brain rot, as they call it now. That ये core skill develop ही नहीं होता है.
And it is
हम job
so
हम करते
vivid.
हैं ताकि
this job hopping has become the new way to keep.
And when you put these young people in a conversation, then you will actually realize that ये तो उनकी foundation building और skill set building हुई नहीं है because of the sudden jump, like literally be thrown into the hens.
Again, a parallel in the business world, right? Like all great creation in the business world lies at the confluence of two fields. Like what did Apple do? Design and technology.
I love your
and
one-liners.
confluence.
So good. One-liners.
So good, thank you. Which is also the confluence of being an expressive person and business person. You know what I'm saying? Like, right?
Beta to aap. No, seriously, right? And same, and effectively, even building a business is creation, right? Like we keep talking of creators and businessmen differently. हम भी बना ही रहे हैं भाई, मतलब there is a creation happening here also, and all creation happens at the intersection of two seemingly disjointed things,
Skills,
which if they come together in an interesting way, like fuck.
So creators are also essentially entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs are also creators.
Of course. Freshness is two random neurons connecting. Actually.
Wow, तूने कहीं
your turn.
Freshness is nothing but two random neurons connecting. That's basically it, which is what they call the aha moment, which is that, oh, one pattern I knew, I spotted it in another place. This is a similar pattern. This is why analogies are great. People love analogies. People are like, oh, this is like this.
But that's the thing. Most people don't see this pre-facto. Most people realize this in hindsight and think it's so obvious. But pre-facto, it's very, very hard.
I started jotting ideas for somewhere. Okay, so I would start an Instagram page, short video page, and YouTube.
As in brand or as
as individual. Okay, as individual. Okay.
As Tanmay or as a regular individual?
No, as regular individual.
Okay.
Random idea. It might not be useful. I started a page called Hair Wolf.
Okay.
Okay, like where? I call it Hair Wolf. Okay. I call it Hair Wolf. Okay. मैं सबसे पहले book कर दूँगा, ठीक है? Then I would go on all the top beauty grooming channels. Okay, go to top videos. Okay, make a list of the top 10 videos on these YouTube channels. This will give me an idea of, make a list of the top 10 videos. उसके अंदर what are all the hair related videos? Be it shaving, length of hair, designing, removal, whatever. There's 5 or 6 this thing. Okay, so this will give me an idea of, oh, what do people actually, what are the titles that people already want? Okay, then I'll start making videos about all things hair on this page. Okay, and I would optimize for these 3 or 4 metrics.
What are the metrics?
One, I'll tell you. One is content that culminates at the end to increase AVD, okay, average view duration. Okay. Second, the question I would ask is, when I post this video, जो share button होता है ना, उसको मैं उस पे number में increase कैसे करूँ? For example, people share in 2 ways. They share to friend or colleague or any other person who shares a similar identity to you, or people share to their profile. People share to their profile to build their own brand. Okay, so then I would ask myself, saying, which one of these two would be most likely with this subject? Okay, so for example, why would people share to their profile? People share to their profile to build their own brand. Okay, so if I made this thing saying, bald men are actually hotter. Let me explain why. Okay,
I'll share it.
For sure. There you go, right? Or if I start the video by saying that,
is it true balding?
Whatever. For example, or if I start the video by saying, here's why using cream to remove hair is better than using razor, for example, right? So you know that in the net of people who watch this, there'll be some who believe neither opinion is, it doesn't matter if it's true or no. Okay, you just know that there's a TAM for both.
Yeah.
Right? Both of these would make that share number go up. Okay, so I would optimize for what is it that people are going to say when they put on my profile, or what that they say when they share with friends. Then I would just output 10 videos, see which one perform best, and just double down on it. You will start making money once you hit a decent amount of money. Shantanu will message you for sponsorship. Okay, you can start making money. Yeah, if you just want to be like, my passion is hair, and I just want to optimize on all things there. This is where I would start. Eventually, there's a salon that's ready.
But hair wolf is really cool. But that's what you would do if you had
random idea.
I think this is because for you, I think 0 to 1, 1 to 10 content journeys are almost very instinctive.
0 to 1 is 1. 1 to 10 is where like
Yeah.
1 to 10 is where like you sit with the same comments and
करना
react to the
पड़ेगा.
memes every week. People start saying innovate नहीं कर रहा है, etc. etc. etc.
First, let's talk about why individuals should make content. I think Nusair put this very well, which is in the old day, you could either be a doctor or you could be a lawyer, right? Today is the generation of ands, which is you can be a doctor and something else. You can be a lawyer and something else. And more often than not, this is doctor and content creator with it. For individuals, the upside is very clear. It's every piece of media that you output online could have any asymmetric bet. There's the Naval tweet, which is what are some things that have asymmetric returns? Reading a book has asymmetric returns. Going on a date has asymmetric returns.
What is an asymmetric return for the
Which
audience?
means most things in life have symmetrical returns, which is if you do X, then you get X returns. You keep doing this and there's linear growth. Right? This is what most people experience in a job also, which is if you're renting your time out, every year the amount of rent increases. If you're working out, then the more you work out, the more your muscles increase. Asymmetric returns is where if you put in X, you could get any output. It could be really, really dramatically bigger than what you thought. So let's take an example, right? If you go out on 10 dates, going out on a date and meeting someone new has asymmetrical returns. How? Only one out of these 10 needs to be so compatible with you. You could find a life partner. Imagine spending 15 hours and getting a life partner. Like that's a dramatically outsized return. Like you got something insane. Imagine reading a book and you get a startup idea or you get a way to think that changes your life dramatically. Like a live example is I read a book called The Obesity Code by Jason Fung. I read it twice, 3 times over. Since then, I've lost like 58 kilos. That one book just changed how I think and I probably saved myself 5 or 6 years. That's why making media gives you asymmetrical returns because you don't know who's going to watch it at the other end. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when media was centralized, if you made something, it would go linearly. Today, because media is decentralized, it's almost like veins, arteries in your heart, right? Like you don't know where it ends up with. So imagine you put out a tweet about a certain insight about your profession. That tweet has, say, 900 views. Of those 900, one of them could be Varun Maya or Tanmay Bhatt, right? And you see this and you go like, oh, this person's interesting. I'm just going to follow. So you can't control, like you don't know who's going to be at the other end.
Would a better way to put this be that a lot of success is luck? Like a lot of inbound deal flow is luck, but creating distribution increases your surface
Increases
area
your
of this
chances
luck?
of luck. AIB's example is really interesting here. How did we get access to movie stars as AIB? Ashish Shakya used to write a column for Hindustan Times. He used to write a humor column for Hindustan Times. He used to write one every week for years, right? And then Twitter happened and he joined Twitter and then he started putting out these columns on Twitter. One day, Kalki followed him because she just happened to read the article. She really liked it. Next week, we wrote a sketch and we directly DM'd Kalki saying, hey, would you like to be in the video? We made that video and that's another piece of media that we output. That went viral. Next day, we're on Barkha Dutt's show. That like an Arjun Kapoor or someone saw it and then followed us on Twitter. Then once Arjun and Ranveer Singh followed us on Twitter, that led to AIB knockout, right? Like
You couldn't have predicted, you couldn't have planned
there's
this.
just no way. There's just no way you could have planned it. But it wouldn't have happened if Ashish Shakya didn't write that column. He was outputting it every week. Me and Khamba would not have met if Khamba wasn't tweeting funny jokes. Dude, me and Rohan met because of outputting media. Rohan was a columnist at JLT and I used to love that magazine. So I followed Rohan, then I followed his blog. Then one day Rohan spoke about, hey, there's an opening here or whatever. And then I applied through that. And then me and Rohan met through that. So I think most of my lucky serendipitous moments all have happened because of someone has outputted something into the world and it just happened to reach me. And I think every individual should have that opportunity by just put out your stuff in the world and the arteries will carry it to someone or the other. And the algorithms are just trying to determine how fast your content can flow. That's why you need to understand how platforms work so you can maximize your asymmetric bet.
Interesting. And do you feel like at bigger and bigger levels of scale, at your dizzying levels of scale, do you feel like the compounding there is incredible? Like these lucky moments that you're pulling off, do you think
Absolutely.
And how does that work for a brand?
what is the usefulness for a company, let's say? I run a D2C company. What's the point?
Your best hires could come from your content. Zomato makes really killer content, right? Like, so Akshar started off making content at Zomato. Now Zomato's team is so strong because there are creative people around the country who would see Zomato's work and be like, they make really cool shit. I want to work there.
The same things happen with Cred.
Same things happen with Cred. Now it's become aspirational to wanna work there. So if a business makes good content, it has outsized returns just from attracting quality talent. And it's not just that, if you make good content as a company, it increases NPS of employees who work at that company. You know how cool it feels if you work at a company and on your friend WhatsApp group, someone shares an Instagram posting, have you seen this? Is really cool. You get to be in that group and be like, yo, this is the company that I work for. Money can't buy that. You can't run performance advertising and buy that kind of NPS.
So you're saying content increases or improves culture? Internal culture?
100%. Employee NPS, dude, people feel proud of when you work for a brand that makes good content. A good example is, I was talking to Sashank, who runs The Whole Truth, right? The whole company is so passionate about what they do. It's because of so much has to do with the content that they output. It's not just that, dude. It's not just the content quality is really good. When content is really good and the comments are really good, when comments are really good, you start feeling pride and joy in what you do. If you feel pride and joy in what you do, you put in 120%. It's all connected. So having a cool brand that does cool content has effects that you can't put that on paper. It's hard to judge. A lot of companies will fret over, like, I keep telling them, like, okay, if the budget for something is like 50 lakhs.
ROI has to be 50 lakhs.
ROI has to be whatever it is. I'm like, ye 1-2 lakh rupees idhar to chhod na. Like, having a good relationship with the people who are making the stuff for you, all that stuff matters because relationships are everything. Like, I would happily take a hit for 5 lakhs if I can work with a company where the process of working was way easier.
I actually can verify that because I've seen that behind the scenes. Tanmay doesn't think so much about the cash if he's looking at a company and he really likes the company.
I'm just like, it'll just be a breeze to work with these guys. And like, you wanna have minimal one night stands and more relationships with this sort of stuff. So
let's move to the next piece, right? I wanted this to be like a masterclass in making content. Break down the anatomy of a video for me. I think there are two kinds of videos roughly, right? There's a long form video, maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes. And then there's short form videos, 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm a kid. I want to win at the content game.
Yeah.
I have the ability to do long form and short form.
Yeah.
Let's say I make for a daily living, I go to school and I make some money on the side. Maybe I'm doing some freelance gigs or something. What should I start doing? What kind of content should I start making? How should I think about the video?
Look, long form content is being successful at long form content is the holy grail, right?
Why is that the holy grail over short form?
It's pretty simple. You want people to watch you many times for longer periods of time. Okay, let's say I've seen 30 Shah Rukh Khan movies, which means I've spent 150, 200 hours of Shah Rukh Khan on the big screen. I made the effort of leaving my house, going to the theater, paying for the ticket, and then watching him, which means I put in so much effort to watch this guy, and at the end of it, I really liked it. That's why now if Shah Rukh Khan is in front of me, I will palpitate, right? Now the friction to consuming long form it's obviously not similar, but there is more friction to convince people to watch long form videos. There's time commitment. I have to watch it. I have to have context built up. I have to really.
And there's also double opt-in, right? With shorts, you just appear on their feed. Here you have to click.
Here you have to click. So if people put in effort to watch you, getting them to do that is higher. So if you get them to do that, they're likely to, and if they do this 3, 4, 5 times over, they're likely to like you more. Plus, if someone watches you for longer, it just means that they like you more. Like, it's as simple as that. Short video, like you said, short video is a scrolling habit, which is you just happen to show up on their feed, you're editing them for 30 seconds. And unless that 30 seconds is so good, they're not coming to your profile and then watching 10 other videos. Even if you do short form video, if you're able to be a format that someone watches you once and they go to your profile and they watch 10 of those videos, then you truly make an impression. You make more of an impression if you last in front of someone's eyes for longer. It's as simple as that. Having said that, that is the holy grail of long form. But if you, I would optimize for finding PMF for passion and enjoyment, right? And you don't enjoy it if you're not doing well
If you make content and nobody sees it, you don't enjoy the process. You're like, what am I doing, wasting my time? So if you're going to start out, I would recommend short form, because likelihood of you finding some traction and getting that first dopamine hit of, someone saw my shit, that is higher in short form. So if you're just starting out, you want to try and get your first, 1,000 views on a short form video. And getting your first 1,000 views, you need to make a half decent video, get all your friends to share it on their story, and let the algorithm do its thing.
Once told me something about the anatomy of a video. You used to give me the example of BuzzFeed Tasty.
Yeah.
Where you said that, actually I'll let you explain it. You should tell the audience what makes a good video. What does the algorithm look for?
At the heart of whether it's long form, short form, television shows, movies, at the heart of it, it's all the same. Can I retain the viewer till the end? It's as simple as that. The example that I gave was Tasty. Tasty would begin with it would be top-down video of the first a plate would come in, and then, that'd be the base of a pizza, then the cheese would go on top of it, and they'd chop the whatever, pepperoni, and it would go on top of it. Then the thing goes outside frame, and it's blank. You see a shot of it going inside the oven. When it comes out, it's finally ready, and you're waiting for that golden shot of lifting the pizza like this, and the fucking cheese and all of it is there. From the beginning of the video, there was a promise that something cool is going to happen in the end, and this is what makes retention go up really high. Let's take Overpowered as an example, right? The first 2 episodes of Overpowered was what? Us theorizing about AI, and there was a lot of just us talking until eventually I was like, let's just make this tasty, which is let's just demo AI tools, because AI tools are inherently like making a pizza. At the start of it, it's like, hey, this tool promises you to do X, Y, Z. Now let's watch it in action. And that's the aha moment, the oven moment, which is like, oh, it's ready. Isn't that insane?
That's a nice word, the oven moment.
The oven moment. It's where you wait for this happens. And if you notice, every single trend on Instagram is basically this.
The oven moment.
The oven moment, which is build up, anticipation, deliver on that anticipation. It's every single trend is this. Take Moe Moe. Like when a reel shows up and I see below there's that Moe Moe song ka thing is going on, I just know that all this bullshit dialogue is going to eventually end up with 5 people doing Moe Moe at the end of it. Like every single trend is basically this. Whether it is the thing above your head saying which movie character are you, whether it is, put your head on my shoulder where it flips to a silhouette of you in whatever. Every single trend is something cool is going to happen in the end.
So the thing with reaction videos, the reason why reaction videos work, it's for 2 reasons. One, fans are curious to know your take on something, right? So initially, Jabby Koi became super popular, right? Because it was, he's not Indian. He's this white guy who's watching Indian stuff. So that was I wonder what he thinks of us, PewDiePie is the world's biggest reaction video creator, because people want to know his take on something. The second thing is, if the core video they are reacting to has high dopamine, right? Automatically, if you react to it, your video will have high dopamine because the core video comes with it. TikToks are designed for high dopamine release. It's 15 seconds. So it was a no-brainer for me to do those videos, because I'm like, imagine this piece already has dopamine over which I will lay 2 jokes. That's 2 more good moments over which I will edit it crisply. It's just tuck. It's addictive. So it was a no-brainer for me to do these. Similarly, if you also react to things which have the graph is like this, which is there is an anticipation build-up going all the way to the end, and there's a big payoff. If you react to stuff like this, automatically retention will be high. Because people are also waiting for this to happen. So I do Mummy Papa Pitai review, right? So I was like, makes sense. So Mummy Papa Pitai reviews, there's a whole, I know. There's a whole bunch of YouTubers who do pranks on their parents, and it always ends with them getting pitai. That's the whole moment, right? So if you react to these, automatically there's a graph in the video. There's a payoff at the end. So if you make the point of going up, if you make that interesting, then there's a payoff. Obviously, people will enjoy that. It's neuroscience. You can't help but enjoy it, So yeah,
it's like DJ running the music and then finally hitting those notes where people go crazy.
It's that. It's exactly that. Your brain works on anticipation, right? You are, there is a perfect beat. There's something called a perfect beat, which is I forget what it is. It's some BPM, but it matches the beat of your heart rate,
So your brain is able to predict it, and it has a biological prediction as well. So it just makes you, it releases a lot more in your head, in your brain. I forget what it is, but yeah, I think more content creators need to think about their content like this. Yeah, I get so conscious sometimes when I'm talking to other content creators. I get very nerdy about this. I'm saying, if you do this, no, then this will happen and this will happen, and then that's why you should do this. This is a great idea for you. I just now only I just speak to content creators who don't mind unsolicited advice now, because I was notorious for being that guy. For many years, I was like, तन्मय आके ज्ञान देके जाएगा बहनचो उसको. Sorry, I just dropped a cuss word, but yeah, people, it would annoy people saying, he just comes and gives gyan, and people get annoyed with that. So now I'm like, I'm just gonna sit and do my own thing. And now everyone's like, God damn, he's reached 2 million subscribers already. That's crazy. What is he doing? And now everybody wants gyan again. Most creators go. AIB was a moonshot creator, right? Which is, I'll come once in 2 months. I'll say something so cool that it just blows up. I didn't want to do that anymore because I've played that game. I know what that is. I wanted to be WhatsApp. I wanted DAU to be mega high. I just wanted to be this thing. I also realized that most people don't know me. They don't know who I am, right? And I got this insight when I started live streaming. A lot of people start saying तन्मय पहली बार मेरे को आप पसंद आ रहे हो. आपको मैं ऐसा लगता है आपको मैं जानता नहीं था. And I felt like really, so a lot of people who didn't like me earlier would hate me because I was extremely opinionated, were now slowly converting. And I went like, it's sad that you guys used to hate me and now that you see me more. So I said, I like this feeling of being in someone's life every single day. I like that feeling. So I just built my ecosystem around me such that I'm able to output every day. And it adds... Power of compounding is you go from your base number of 100k videos, right? 100k views a video. 100k views a video then becomes slowly 200k views a video. That becomes 300k views a video. That becomes 400k. It becomes super powerful if you're able to suddenly do 1 million views a video. And if you're doing 1 million views a day, then you are really growing. Right?
That's what you're doing right now, right?
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing 1 million views a day. Like every video, it hits 1 million every day. Bell icon, I track my metrics to that, right? Like my bell icons need to keep increasing. So I need to do one big spike video that blows up every week, which goes beyond my subscriber numbers every week. So I'm constantly on the hunt for that. What is my next big? What is my next big? So power of compounding is you go from, you won't have linear growth. When your opportunities to hit big is few, you will have linear growth. You will do 300,000, you'll do 400,000, you'll do 500,000. But cumulatively, you go from 10 million views a month to you can go to 80 million views a month in 3 months. It would take you a much longer time if you weren't hitting
linear growth. Of course.
Yeah, it would take you a much longer time. So which is why I think the daily grind is super useful. It breeds habit. Your feedback loop is so short, so your judgment is higher. I can now tell when something's going to do better than the others. I can look at a video and say, this is 1.5 million. I can tell in the first 2 hours. I look at analytics and I see retention rate. I see retention rate. This retention rate is 60% today. This is going to do better than the others. I just know it. It's like you become best friends with the algorithm.
Sure.
And that is... Oh, mama. You become best friends with the algorithm, and that will really help you grow on YouTube. But to be best friends with the algorithm is you gotta keep putting stuff out.
How are you coming up with these content ideas?
Oh, I think I don't think I'm doing that well actually. But I think one thing that I tell creators is don't try to reinvent the wheel. Go where the attention already is, right? Like my second channel, right? I looked at my second channel and I made a list of here are the 50 channels that made stuff about finance and learning. I really like this space.
Yeah.
You go to every channel, you look at the most popular videos. What are people actively interested in watching? Then you're like, now what is my take on it? This is what I would like to talk about. this is what my take on this subject is. So most people try to reinvent, saying from the scratch I'll think of something that will
कुछ अलग करना है.
go where the attention is. It's like a startup. Where is the problem? Where are people willing to spend money? Vis-a-vis, where are people willing to give their attention? That is, what are people thinking about in their daily life? And go there. Don't think you are above what they care about. You have to be what they care about. So yeah, look at every success of every YouTuber, every success, what they've had. It will give you a very good estimation of this is what people care about.
Try to model that.
Go where they go. Sorry, I'm going to re-articulate. Go where people already are, and stand out there. Yeah, I think go where the attention is, and learn how to get more of it for yourself.
So make reaction videos better than Tanmay Bhatt. That's the way
Make
to
reaction videos better. If you want more views than me on reaction videos, make it better than me. That's it. Yeah.
I slightly want to move away from YouTube. I want to talk a little bit about marketing and advertising, right? So I know you have some very interesting ideas. You have some very interesting perspectives. That is one. This is something that I strongly believe in. Obviously, a lot of people say that is opinionated. Anyways, whatever the word is. The point is, do you think the future marketing leaders are going to come from these top Harvards and Stanfords of the world, or do you think that the top marketing leaders or the top people who can influence in terms of marketing are going to be creators?
I don't think it's an either or. I think previously I once made a poll saying which one of these do you think would make for a better marketing executive, MBA or someone who scaled an Instagram account. And people got angry at me saying, how can you say this, etc., etc., etc. Of course, I asked it on LinkedIn, a place where people pride their resumes, right? Which was probably a stupid thing to do. But I just wanted to put the question out there. I don't think the answer is either or. But I do think the best marketing professionals are those with refined judgment. And I think that people who have run circles around a feedback loop have more refined judgments. Now, you could understand a feedback loop by either studying many cases and data, or you could be doing things.
Correct.
Both of them ends up in the same thing. One of them shortens the route to a more refined judgment. That's all I'm saying.
What shortens the route?
Doing, creating. Creating shortens the route.
Execution
shortens the route to a refined judgment. However, it also depends on your core skill, right? If you execute badly a lot and you are not a fast learner, then you won't have refined judgment. But you pair a smart person into a marketing course and the same person creates, I think the same person will have a more refined judgment if he does things. So yeah, I don't think it's an either or, but I think these are the parameters to a good marketing executive. This is what you need at the end of the day. I just said that one of these is a faster way to get a refined judgment, which is creating. Doesn't mean the other won't have it. The other can. It comes with experience, or it comes with consumption of a study of loops. Depends on what they've studied, right? So yeah.
How do you know how you've quote unquote done something without detaching yourself from it? So I've never had actually sat and detached myself and figured it out. But I think there's some basic things, कुछ मंत्र है जो काफी useful रही है. One of which, I'm assuming a lot of them will come through this interview, but one of which was, especially when it comes to making content, was कि खुद को ट्रिप आना चाहिए, नहीं तो जनता को ट्रिप नहीं आती. So I know at AIB, when we started off, शुरुआत में हम बस बेसिक वीडियो बनाते थे, स्केचेस बनाते थे कि अरे ये मस्ती कितना अच्छा होगा, हम लाइव स्टैंड अप करते रहे, फिर वीडियो में जब बनाने आए तो अच्छा ये चीज वीडियो में बनाएगा तो कैसा कितना मजा आएगा ना। फिर वो हो गया, फिर था अच्छा आलिया भट्ट के साथ वीडियो बनाएगा तो कितना मजा आएगा ना, ट्रिप आएगा उस पे। फिर वो होने के बाद अरे रोस्ट करेंगे तो कितना मजा आएगा ना, ट्रिप आएगा कि अरे कभी हुआ नहीं है। फिर वो होने के बाद अरे टीवी पे जॉन ऑलिवर स्टाइल एक न्यूज कॉमेडी शो करें तो कितना मजा आएगा ना, ट्रिप आएगा। सो आई थिंक being in like wanting to constantly surprise yourself was one way to keep the content and the content strategy surprising for us, was very useful. You know, I'm 34 now. I have written for television, radio. I've performed on radio. I was briefly as a radio jockey. I've written movies, produced movies, acted. I've composed music, written lyrics. I've written for corporate shows. There's nothing that I haven't done. Right now, I've written ads.
Yes.
So I started working really early, but I've been now writing for 17 years actually. I've written for half my life now. So see, creativity is a muscle, Shraddha. Just like physical muscle, it's a muscle. So when you've done heavy lifting in creative work for very long, it starts showing now. So athletes who are in their 40s, right? They're mega athletic for being in their 40s. Why is that? There is a certain muscle memory that remains with them. So the longer you keep outputting, the easier it gets for you to adapt later on. Which is why now when I start writing ads, I won't say it was easy, but it was relatively easier for me to adapt to advertising now than it would have been if I had not done any of those things. When people are younger now, they focus a lot on the end goals, which is, you know, in the olden days, kids used to want to be astronauts, right? Because when an astronaut went to the moon, usko like milte rahe. Kids today want to be Logan Paul. They want to be a creator, right? Because that's the first thing they're exposed to. But what they don't realize is the skills you require to get there have to be developed. So I never looked at the end goal initially, क्योंकि stand up करने वाला ये तो पता ही नहीं था, content create करने वाला ये तो पता ही नहीं था. मुझे बस पता था कि मेरे पास एक skill है, which is I think I know how to make people laugh, and then I developed the others. I've written stuff like India's Got Talent के first season में scripts लिखा है मैंने, Star परिवार Awards के लिए script लिखा है मैंने, MTV के shows के लिए scripts लिखा है, Disney के लिए लिखा है मैंने. So I've done the whole range. That is why today मैं नींद में लिख सकता हूँ. And of course, the person who made all of it happen was Ayyappa, right? It's one thing writing this. It's another thing getting someone to execute it. Ayyappa, I don't know if you know his work. Flipkart के बच्चों वाला campaign Ayyappa ने किया था. फिर AIB का एक show है गवर्नमेंट करके Ayyappa ने direct किया था. Like he's phenomenal. और वो कभी celebrities के साथ films नहीं करता है. हमारे साथ I'm very proud that we got Ayyappa to do celeb films with us. Ayyappa, Rahul Dravid case का example लेता हूँ मैं. I had written it with the team thinking it will be one frame and it will be jump cuts of Dravid doing, you know, saying a bunch of lines. Ayyappa जब set पे था, Ayyappa was like, we should change the angles, right? And, you know, stuff like वो बोतल, वो milkshake फेंकता है आंटी के ऊपर, you know, inside the thing, him getting out of the sunroof and yelling Indra Nagar Gunda. All these are directorial calls that we didn't think of in the script. So it's often like, I think ad directors go very unnoticed for जब ad कोई दिखता है तो 40 सेकंड का जो impact पड़ता है immediately agency कौन है, right? किसने लिखा है ये? एक एजेंसी बोलता है इस राइटर को पोच करना है, पर डायरेक्टर बेचारा खो जाता है. सो आई डोंट वांट टू फॉरगेट Ayyappa. आई थिंक Ayyappa इज इंस्ट्रूमेंटल. और आज तो हम जब स्क्रिप्ट लिखते हैं तब स्क्रिप्ट रूम में Ayyappa रहता है डे वन से, जब स्क्रिप्ट लिखी जा रही होती है. यूजुअली कैसे होता है, ब्यूरोक्रेसी होती है, क्लाइंट का ब्रीफ आता है, फिर एजेंसी लिखता है, फिर एजेंसी क्लाइंट से अप्रूव कराता है, फिर क्लाइंट बोलता है अप्रूव्ड है, अभी जाके डायरेक्टर को ढूंढो. ये होता है प्रोसेस. हमारे यहाँ पे वो एक टीम बन गई ऐसे कि ब्रीफ साथ में डिस्कस होती है. अभी मुझे तृप्ति फोन करेगी और तृप्ति बोलेगी कि ये क्या लगता है तेरे को इसके बारे में, राइट? सो व्हेन वाज द आई डोंट रिमेंबर व्हेन creatives would get involved in making what the campaign should be. That is incredibly rare, right? तो मेरी करियर से बहुत ऑब्वियसली कुछ लर्निंग्स है. एक तो समझ जाओ कि बहुत लंबा गेम है, बहुत लंबा है. Sometimes early success is also not good. Okay, It's a very long game. You don't need to be too rigid with your ambitions also. Yeah, I think it's okay to be a little fluid broadly, as long as you're having fun. That's the one thing that I've changed careers a lot, right? So that's one big learning that I've had. Don't be too rigid and just know that it's both sound like awful cliches, but बहुत लंबा होता है यार career. 10 साल बहुत time होता है. I don't even know, like it's a very long time. So people get frustrated with, I've been trying to build a distribution for 8 months now, nothing's moving for me. I'm like 8 महीने हुए. होता है भाई. 0 to 1 move होना is hard, and I think creators forget that they are competing for the #1 job in the world right now. Every single person, including people from other fields who have actual domain expertise in what they are doing, are also trying to be a creator. So it's an incredibly hard job. So that is the other point. And I think skills is most important. I think folks who discover that they want to be a creator later on in life spend far too long developing skills that they can be a creator about. Those people are usually able to create that distribution quicker because they have some sort of domain expertise. You can anytime become a creator, right? You can, आजकल product manager से लेके chef से लेके everybody is becoming a creator online. You can build a distribution, but what value are you building? What value are you bringing to the table? That वो value पहले build करना सीखो. I think that is key. वो लोग सोचते नहीं है. लोगों को day 1 पे लोगों को लगता है कि बस subscriber बढ़ने चाहिए. पर क्यों कोई subscribe button दबाएगा? Truly think about it. When someone is clicking subscribe on your channel, what they're saying is, I am okay with seeing you in my day. It's a huge thing. Someone saying कि मैं ठीक हूँ अगर तू मेरे timeline पे आएगा तो. The main part of where most of my attention is, someone is saying, okay, you can be there. It's a big ask to make. So you have to truly deliver something that is of actual value to them.
So unfortunately, in social media, every year there's roughly like 6 to 7 opportunities to go guaranteed viral. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Right? Any video you make about a topic, it will go viral. Unfortunately, a lot of people utilize that just to get attention. For example, Israel and Palestine. Right now, anybody make a pro-Palestine video, I guarantee you millions of views. A few years ago, there were wildfires in Australia. Anybody that made any video about that, oh, there was protests in Bangladesh. Anybody, farmers protest in India. These are all opportunities for content creators to get attention, even if they don't care about the topic. And this
just take a contrary.
This is not just the content creator.
This is
everyone, Nikhil. But this is not the contrary. They're saying like, if everybody's saying, okay, we need to protest with the farmers, for example, which I didn't understand what it was about, you will get the views. You will become famous in those 6 chances every year. And I've seen people who know nothing about Indian politics or local Indian affairs, just like
Rihanna.
Oh, that's the one. Now I remember. Rihanna was like, I'm with the Indian. I was like, what does Rihanna know about this?
Yeah. But it became cool to say that.
It became cool to say that.
Likes breed tribalism.
Right now, has it become cool to say pro-Palestinian stuff?
It's become cool.
Why is that?
Because there's 2 billion Muslims in the world. And now, the minute you promote or you support this topic, every Muslim will want to support you as well. So you see that tribalism happen, even if people don't know the intricacies of this very complicated conflict, which I'm part of for 75 years. If things were this easy, man, it would have been solved.
Is that making content at the end of the day? Learning how to make sales?
Yes.
Marketing?
Yeah. If I were hiring for marketing, if there was a kid who could take an Instagram page from 0 to 10,000, that kid is killer. Right? Most CMOs don't know how to do this. Most CMOs would not know where to spend money to make this happen. In fact, people who are in marketing jobs at brands, what they're truly doing is exercising the judgment on what's good or not. They're spending $1 on making a decision. How do you know what's good or not if you haven't done it 20 times over and seen what's good or not? So I truly think most people who make content today, if you have this experience for 10 years, there is a very good marketing job at the end of it.
So if I were new, if I were a 20-year-old boy starting something out to build distribution, how often should I post? What duration works today? What is the path of least resistance to get distribution?
So I think a lot of people in this table make long videos, including you. And I don't know who the hell is still watching this video. You must have a lot of time on your life. Okay? But the only and the best way to get distribution today is to make YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels that are 59 seconds exactly, which is the 1 minute guy. And I think short content gets you reach. And after you get the reach, you should go deep by creating the podcast. But you shouldn't start by creating a podcast because Amy, you've had fame from other places. That's why your podcast works. But if there's a nobody now starting a podcast, unfortunately, that's going to kill their dreams.
Also, social media changes extremely.
Do you guys
rapidly.
agree with what he said?
Social media changes literally every 6 months. But for the last year or so, a good beginning has been exactly what Nas said.
So you make short videos, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute to begin with?
It's easier to get more top of funnel through short video. I agree. But the holy grail is long form.
Yes.
That's the holy grail. I want to ask Prajakta actually. Prajakta has done both. Like she's prolific at short video now, but you began with YouTube. Like what do you think? Like because you've done both and you now do a lot of the short video stuff.
I was actually forced to go to short video when the lockdown started because that is what everybody was doing. And that was, I think, the only time as a creator where I felt like I didn't have an option because it had reached a point where I felt like nobody's watching it. Nobody has the patience for it. Nobody wants to spend any more time. So that's how it started, and I did not expect to like it. I was very resistant to short form content. I was very adamant, almost stubborn with saying, you know what, I don't care if the whole world's going to make short form content. I'm going to stick to.
Wow.
I remember talking to Neil when they kind of took funding off YouTube Originals. I was so upset.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was coming to you with pitches. I had things I've been working on. I wanted to pitch Originals to you, and you've taken funding off because you're pushing shorts. And that broke my heart. But I started having fun with it because then you kind of see it's nice to go from a point of understanding that if I'm making a 20-minute video and my analytics tell me that I lost a huge chunk of my audience at 7 seconds, and then going and watching like a 20-second video and seeing that, oh my God, there's that many replays and shares happening. So it's affirmative, but like he said, the holy grail
is long
form.
Also, with long form, you're truly building community because you're developing trust because they're getting to know your heart and not just your vision.
Yes, but let me disagree here a little bit. This is like trying to swim against the tide.
Yeah.
You must ask yourself, where is the tide going? If you swim against the tide, you can do this and you're still in the same location, okay? Always go with the winds. So what is the winds? It's basically, what does the C-level leaders at social media platforms say? You should read the earnings report. You should read the quarterly calls of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And from listening to the CEOs of the social medias, you can guess where the tides are going to go because these guys control the tides.
And where
They're
are they going according to?
So 7 years ago, I was following Mark Zuckerberg's reports, right? I was following the quarterly earnings. Mark Zuckerberg 7 years ago said, pictures are great, but I see a future where in the future where 90% of Facebook is going to be video. Bam, let's go. Video, let's go, right? So no pictures, not a single picture of Nas Daily, right? What I'm trying to say is the tide makers and the fortune makers are actually humans living in Silicon Valley and in China. Listen to what they say and then do exactly what they say.
And what are they saying today?
So right now the TikTok guy is saying shopping on TikTok is going to be big and live on TikTok is going to be big. So I would probably try that. The people at YouTube are saying, no more originals. YouTube Shorts is going to be the future. So I would index on that. Facebook or Instagram is saying, what are they saying? They didn't even say anything these days. Instagram is like
Metaverse. They're saying metaverse.
Oh, they're saying metaverse, right? So I would keep my eyes open. Like if I was starting a 7-year career now, I would probably want to start as like AI creator or a metaverse creator because in 6 years, you are going to be at the right place at the right time.
Is that a lot more expensive to create content on the metaverse?
Right now, I mean,
no, it's just a camera.
It's not expensive. It's just I think 99% of the people haven't even bought Quest 3 yet. They haven't tested it out.
There's like 2 million people in the world that can watch.
So what we're saying in summary is make shorts, build distribution, then do long form.
I want to add something experiential here based on my experience selling this meditation app. Okay, we get about 3 to 4 million views on any short form video that I create which is usually emotional. It
Yeah.
caters to the mental health oriented audience to whom my app is also catered to. I'm trying to hit the mark. I reach that audience for sure because those reels get insane engagement. Okay, I do podcasts like that as well. We always get more sales from the podcasts.
Wow.
Like almost, we get almost no sales from Instagram.
Yeah, I want to just
Yes.
double click on this, Nikhil,
That's
because it's not as black and white as what Nusair is saying. While I fundamentally agree with him, think about how you're consuming short form content, right? You are actually scrolling and something comes across and you see it and that counts as a view to that. So when Ranveer gets 4 million views on a short, probably 1 million of them may be people who actively subscribe to Ranveer, whereas the rest of them are just going to watch him
Yes.
for 30 seconds and move on. Which is why affinity to a creator when they watch you for 9 minutes straight or 10 minutes straight is a lot higher, which is why movement or click-through ratio on links that you provide will be a lot higher on long form. So short video is a great way to get traction,
Discovered.
And I would bet on, like Dhoni said this recently, right? And Nusair said this a bit before, saying that you don't want to kill your dreams by attempting something so audacious by swimming against the tide. What you really want is to start feeling confident as a creator early on in your career,
Yes.
which is why short form video is effective for you to start. That is why.
Yes, correct. There's different phases in your life. One is you're a nobody. Everybody starts at a nobody. We were all nobodies 10 years ago, correct? So when you're a nobody, your number one goal is to be discovered. You get discovered through shorts. Then your number one goal is to build a community, so you make longs. Then your number one goal is to build a business, so you build a community, build a business.
The number one goal is to start feeling confident that you can be a creator. Like Dhoni said, that you want to bet on a guy who's confident about himself than necessarily someone who's more talented. Because you can be very talented but be underconfident, but you're not going to be effective.
Yeah.
So as a creator, I would push for try and get that one video to pop so you feel like you can do this, because nothing is as...
The harsh truth is that this industry, especially when it comes to money, is heavily dependent on the views you're generating. Be it long form or short form, just figure out how to get the views first and
Yes.
foremost.
Yeah.
Then you can like go through the nooks and crannies.
Now, what are the low-hanging fruits? Like he also said, Nas said at some point that these 6 opportunities in a year, where by taking the contrarian opinion, you could have a hack to building distribution. I'm not suggesting anyone should do it, but that's one hack. Now, I'm starting today. My name is Nikhil. I'm 20 years old. I want to build a business selling t-shirts in 2 years. I don't want to go the traditional route of performance marketing because that skews up my numbers and I'll never make money that way. I need to build distribution to sell merch. What kind of content do I start creating today? Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I want to go first here. I think at the heart of either long form or short form is viewer retention. At the heart of it. Even if it's short form, the videos that perform the best are ones which has highest viewer retention, right? Average view duration on that short has to be high. And if you notice, every major trend on Instagram, every major filter, every trend that comes around is basically hinging on what happens, what's the reveal at the end, right? Be it the thing on the top of your head saying, what movie star are you? It goes around for a bit and at the end of it, you'll get the answer. Why is it like that? Because it's trying to get you to watch towards the end. So even with short form, like stuff like three things to keep an eye on when you're making your wardrobe. Number 3, number 2, number 1. A small hack, for example, people want to stick to number 1 and that's how you get people to watch till the end. Number 1 will blow your mind. That's how people begin videos. Yeah. At the heart of it, get people to watch till the end. That's going to get more traction.
So that's the format, right? The question you need to ask yourself is, when it comes to the content, what do I have access to that nobody else in the world has access to? That's the question. What do I know better than anybody around my friends?
Yes.
What is my unique access, right? So
what is that answer for you?
So for me, right, I was like, okay, I'm a software engineer, but a lot of my friends have access to like engineering. Actually, what I have access to is the world. I have access to Kenya. I have access to Ethiopia because I have money to travel. I have a good passport. I have access to the world, while a lot of people in India or a lot of people in Pakistan, a lot of people in my hometown country don't have access to the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go show you Ethiopia. And so my unique value to you is it's not my beauty, it's not my looks, it's I'm going to show you the world. I'm going to make you travel with me for free while you're pooping in the bathroom and I'm showing you Ethiopia for 1 minute. So that's access. So the question is, what is access you have access that nobody has access to?
What makes you
Is
unique?
What makes you unique is a comedic sense.
Comedic sense. So
You know how to make people laugh.
So I take that to any genre that I go to naturally.
Exactly.
Another thing just want to add to what Nusair said. While what you have, Andrew Huberman is a great example. He has access to neurological data from Harvard.
Health data.
Yeah, so he's able to talk about that. You're special in that one thing that everybody cares about. The second aspect is, do people care about
You'd be
what you have access
surprised that everybody in the world cares about what you have access to.
Yeah.
Even t-shirt manufacturing, you could get millions of views if you make a good piece of content on how a t-shirt is made.
You can. But as a long-term plan, it's what you have access to and what the world cares about. That's your
marriage of the two, exactly.
That's the marriage.
Exactly.
And the second thing I want to add there is, like, this is great. What Nusair said is true, but how you make your shit and how scalable it is determines how tired you get over a 10-year timeline, right? So in my case, I'm lucky that I'm able to make humor out of anything. So I'm able to jump genres and I'm able to scale a lot more easily, where it's harder to scale when you're traveling 300
That's
days
why
of
I
the year.
stopped after 7 years.
Yeah.
Because you can't travel to Ethiopia anymore. I'm tired, you know?
And I can't keep watching Ethiopia while I'm pooping.
No. When you begin, it's only quantity game.
He's saying quality first, then quantity.
You say quality first?
I had to learn something. At least, see, I'm talking based on my own trajectory. I learned how to create videos.
Oh, you gotta have some quality.
No, zero quality. You should have zero quality at the beginning. Have you seen day one Nas Daily? It's horrible. It's cringe.
I think that's how all of us feel about all our content, but just the ability to frame.
Nikhil, to double click on that, the more quantity you output, the better your quality gets if you're really paying attention. So
And,
quantity helps.
The third strong thing that's worked for me, honestly, it's a bit of a cliched answer, but engineering college. Because it just taught me how to think of the world as machines. It taught me how to reverse engineer things, and now I can learn anything faster than normal.
Yeah, but really now, the reason I follow you is because you have access to India's most interesting humans, and
That's
which
now,
the normal
That's
person
now.
cannot get
That's
access
access
to.
for you today.
That's
access for you today.
But actually, people should ask themselves, whoever is watching this, ask yourself, what kind of weapon are you? Are you a machine gun or are you a sniper? How'd you know?
Wow.
I say the same thing.
We are brothers from another mother.
We've done too many panels, brother.
A machine gun is somebody that say, if I want to kill the enemy, we should get a viral video. I shoot 500 bullets and hope something sticks and hits the enemy.
Okay, another digression here.
Wait, this is an important idea.
Yeah.
A sniper, the sniper has one bullet and gets a headshot.
Right.
So a sniper in this case is somebody who goes and makes a Netflix documentary, waits 3 years, puts it on Netflix, becomes big. Jewish matchmaking or Indian matchmaking. That's sniper creator.
Is that a thing? Jewish matchmaking?
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a sniper creator. Whoever made that, that's a sniper. One episode, I'm famous around the world. A machine gun is 1,000 videos in 1,000 days, 1,000 skits, 1,000 podcasts. We're all machine guns.
AIB was sniper. Once a month, twice a month, boom.
You're a
It hits.
sniper.
You're
We're
a
all
sniper.
machine guns.
You come once a week. I'm machine gun now, which is I'm outputting 9-10 videos a month.
Is there a sexy answer? Like, I want to tell the 20-year-old girl what to go and create, which will do better than 100 years ago.
Okay. Like, should we brainstorm on different categories? Like, I'm assuming define her access. Like, what makes her unique?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing unique, more generic. Like
Say she's into fashion.
Say she's
Or she's into math.
very specifically India focused. She's studying BCom in a tier 2 college in Bangalore. Let's say pocket money is not 50,000. Let's say it's 10,000 rupees.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what are her interests?
She likes music, Bollywood, stock investing, and content creators.
All right. So off the top of my head, Bollywood, she could review movies.
Yeah. I'd say is that an opportunity? Because there are so many people already reviewing movies.
Yeah. What's the manner in which they're reviewing movies? A format idea is you could review movies either straight, like, hey, this is what I thought of the movie, or you review movies in a format. Like I would do a format like things I thought of while watching Rocky or Rani. That's my format. That's how I do movie reviews. I just tell you the thoughts in my head. So it's just a series of jump cuts like, I thought this.
Or she could do something that's unique to her. Stock investing for women that are broke. That's
I'll give you a
stock
sexy
investing
answer.
for women that are broke.
Or just simplifying communication around stocks. We weren't taught that. Tell me how to do my taxes. I don't know it.
The sexy answer for me is new age journalism. Start talking about world events. It's very risky. It'll get you cancelled a lot. But if you
What are you saying, yeah? Ranveer.
New age. I'm not like taking away nothing from journalism degrees. I think you need to be trained to be a journalist, etc., etc. But dude, I don't care. It's where the world is going.
No, I actually resonate with him. I feel like journalism.
When you speak to people's identity, it generates just a higher engagement rate, right? Be it in their native language or be it about who they are. For example, if I say 10 things only engineers will understand, right? It'll get a lot more shares from engineers. 10 things that only Vietnamese people will get.
That's interesting. Go deeper in that.
If you speaking to someone's identity just gets more like BuzzFeed pioneered this ages ago, right? BuzzFeed did take this quiz if you're overweight or 15 things that fat girls will relate to, right? Like they pioneered this and it became obvious eventually. That's why nationalistic content does really well. That's why geopolitics does really well, right? Because geopolitics, you can't speak about geopolitics without attracting an identity touch point of the two countries that you're talking about. I do Pakistanis are savage. Why do I put Pakistanis are savage in the title? Because I know Pakistani people are gonna click on it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's another hack, which is when you speak to people's identities, they'll engage and share
And
more.
how do you identify niche identities?
There's just large islands, man. There's so many identities.
How do you figure that out? Like if I'm a content creator,
The language you speak at home, that's one identity. The job you do, that's one identity. The family you grew up around, that's one identity. You went to
And your
ICSE,
nation identity is the easiest one to
Nation
get used.
identity is the easiest one. What in India there are so many, because we have 5,000 identities. There are 5,000 islands. ICSE, CBSE,
But
SSC schools.
how do I find a small enough identity?
Why do you need to find a small?
Why do you need to find a small?
Because the smaller it is, the more they'll share. You said, right?
No.
No,
Find the
bigger.
biggest one.
The biggest one is country. Then
Yes,
But the more specific you are, the more specific you are, that kind of helps.
I'm taking specific as smaller. So
No,
what are these
it's
identities
countries.
which are unutilized?
It's countries. You have no idea. When people actually start content creation, like influencers in America, they go where? They go to the Philippines. Because when a white guy...
They collaborate with Indians now.
When a white guy goes to the Philippines and says, I ate Filipino food.
Yeah, huge.
Same with India. Actually, I got pushback. I got canceled because I made so many videos in the Philippines because they were like, oh, you're just using us to get views. Which wasn't true. I actually really like the Philippines. But anyway, that
But
was
also,
the thing.
yes.
Also, no, I went to 70 countries.
Can I say something?
True.
I also feel like collaborations are very, very powerful when you start a creative journey.
That's interesting. Go into that. How does a new person collaborate, and who do they collaborate with?
With other new people.
Like people who are near your numbers.
How do you find them?
Or you can be ambitious. Like I remember shooting Lily a text as often as I could till it happened. Yeah.
We all have short Lilia text at some
Till
point.
it actually happened. I remember shooting or like just kind of manifesting in my head and wanting to do something with Hrithik Roshan. I'm a huge fan till that happened. But that took a long, long time. I'm just saying in general, I have learned so
And
much
what works
from...
when you message these people? What can one say that will work?
Hi, I'm a creator and this is what I do and I really, really like your work and if you have some time, I would love to shoot
Doesn't
something
work.
with you.
Doesn't work.
But doesn't work though.
No, it's just whenever you're asking someone anything, their time, money,
Especially their time.
Especially their time, you gotta understand what would incentivize them.
You must give
Yeah.
them value.
Yeah.
When I speak about collaborations, I also speak about friendships and allies in the creator community.
See, I'm a creator beginning today.
Hmm.
I want to be a part of an ecosystem with other curators and creators. How do I find them?
When I started off, I don't think YouTube does that anymore, but when I started off, I remember telling my partner manager at YouTube or just shooting text to YouTube saying
What is
when
a partner manager at YouTube?
you'll have a partner manager on YouTube who's looking after your account and is who you can sit down with every now and then.
Back in the so
Yeah, you
back
don't
in
have
the
that
day,
anymore.
Back in the day, there were fewer creators. Now, to get up to be eligible for a partner manager, you need to have
Certain
X
amount
thousand
of, yeah.
hours of watch time, X number of
Yeah.
subscribers, etc. So it's hard now.
Yeah.
The number of partner managers per creator is very low.
A lot. So I remember telling her that if there's any kind of social gathering, any kind of panel discussion, any kind of creator workshop happening, please sign me up for this because I want to go and meet other people and I want to do that. What we can do now is I feel like a lot of creators, like a lot of newer creators now I meet at social events done by YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. And I just feel like...
Is that a good hack to show up at these events?
I think so, yeah.
Hello, show up at Nas
Summits,
Summit.
yeah. like finding these
coming to
hubs
find some.
where conversations relevant to what you are doing or in the realm of your life as a creator are happening, and kind of wanting to be in those places.
There is something called non-consensual collaboration.
What is that?
Okay. For example, this is a growing trend now, which is if you want to collaborate with someone, you start talking about how you want to collaborate with this person. And you get your whole follower base to go start spamming them in messages saying, this person wants to do something with you, right? So what the algorithm is doing is the algorithm is recognizing that this person is talking about this person, so the video automatically starts getting recommended to people who follow this person. This happens on YouTube all the time. It started happening on Instagram, etc., etc.
Like Virat Kohli?
Like Virat Kohli?
Oh
That's
my
non-consensual
God.
collaboration. This dude just kept talking about, Virat.
I love that.
So non-consensual collaboration is one. But generally speaking, you want to collaborate with people you're more likely to get a yes to collaborate one.
Yeah.
So people want to collaborate up, but that's hard. So you
Yeah.
want to start collaborating sideways.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thumbnails and titles, how important are they?
Very important.
Not important.
Not?
Really? At all. Zero. Should we debate?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Why is it important?
Sizzle matters as much as steak. Sizzle matters. I mean, there's enough documented evidence that suggests that. I mean, Mr. Beast is a great example. Just last week, he was tweeting about how videos where he closes his mouth get a lot more views than thumbnails where his mouth is open.
I thought he said the other thing. Thumbnails when his mouth is open get more views. Because then people...
Either or. Basically, he
'cause
changed
when
one
his mouth
variable.
is open, people think he's saying something and want to click it.
Yeah. So either or, which is, he changed one variable and that made a big difference. Boring, I mean, no, sir, how can you disagree? Boring title. I mean, of course, short video,
That's the point.
The short video is completely
What I'm trying
different.
to say is there's only one platform and one type of video where thumbnail and title matter, which is a long video on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah.
The majority of people watching this are going to be uploading Instagram Reels.
Yes.
On an Instagram Reels, the title doesn't matter.
Thumbnail doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. In fact, no one should be stressing over this at the beginning. Just stress over the first 3 seconds of the video, the first sentence that you say in the video.
Yeah.
So on TikTok, thumbnails don't matter. On Instagram, thumbnails don't matter. And on Facebook, thumbnails don't matter. And in YouTube Shorts, thumbnails don't matter. Only on YouTube long videos.
Okay, so for YouTube videos, what do you do? How do you make a thumbnail and a title that works?
I've delegated everything in my organization when it comes to video content other than actually coming on screen. Titling and thumbnails are things I've not been able to delegate. And I have two other channels. I have Beer Biceps, which is English, Ranveer Alabade Hindi. There's TRS Clips English and TRS Clips Hindi. The titles are done by me and the thumbnails are also suggested.
Just want to suggest some things that people could follow. You should probably check out Paddy Galloway. He does a YouTube course and he talks a lot about titling and thumbnail. Follow this guy called Papa Okus on Twitter. He's an Indian kid who is deeply into it. Sorry, I just wanted to throw in the recommendation.
So when it comes to titles, there's very easy wins, okay? How, why, what. Start the title with how and why, because the average human really wants to know why Greenland is not actually green. The human brain really wants to know how aquariums work, okay? So how and why is a very easy win. The second easy win is superlatives. And we teach all this at Nas Academy. I've done this 50 times. Superlatives. Everybody wants to know the story of the world's tallest man.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know who is the world's youngest billionaire.
Yeah.
Who is it? You know, so extremes and how and why. And the last one is paradox. So the unhappy billionaire. Well, you assume a billionaire is always happy, right?
Contradictory.
But why are they unhappy? Contradictory. So that's the 3 biggest categories for things that want to click on.
Is there a tool that you can use that'll help in this?
Pattern recognition.
If you pirate the Nas Academy course and put it into ChatGPT,
and share it on Instagram.
Why not just pay the money? Why not just give us money?
the course.
Is there a course on how to put good thumbnails and titles?
Yeah, like it's a module, but there, I don't know if there's a.
And how
full
much do you
course.
charge?
The price is not India friendly.
Tell us.
It's $3,000 for 5 months. But it's 5 months.
5 month cohort.
What if
5 month
somebody
cohort.
just wants to learn this bit?
You can't. You just go to
You
YouTube, get
pirate
it
it and you get it for free.
for free. Stop it! Because of you, we don't make money.
Okay, you guys, tips. Thumbnail and titles.
For me, these things didn't work. Like after a point, maybe it's because I have a larger quantity of content. So then I need to bring novelty to the titles and all that. I try focusing on first 3 words. That's all.
And what do you do in the first 3 words?
I actually learned it from you. I think you had suggested this first 3 words. It has to match the content of the video. Shocking, secret. This is what works in India. Dark. These kind of words that create an emotion.
Give us some more. Shocking, secret, dark, then?
Twisted.
Because when you say that, people,
Intense.
You're playing the inquisitiveness card.
Yeah. But again, I used to believe in set formulas for titles, and TRS Clips English and Hindi taught me otherwise. It was just a very brutal experience for me. And it's still a brutal experience.
I think some things that could help people are just observe your own behavior when you're clicking on videos. If just that one moment of self-reflection saying what made me click on it. Outside of what Nuzair also said, I agree with that. The TAM of your video really matters, which is total addressable market. Like you could have a paradoxical title about something that nobody cares about and it would not get views. It should be a broad TAM. That's what I want.
Also copy successful videos. So look at a viral video, like go to like a Vox channel and sort the videos by
Popularity, great hack.
And then just copy the thumbnail and copy the title.
Yeah, so one hack is you could go to any YouTube channel of the genre that you are operating in. So if Ranveer was starting out and he was talking about fitness, I would say go to the top 10 fitness channels that are existing, go to videos, click on most popular and just see the subjects that are done really well. It auto sorts. Your first 20 videos are already there. It's just the first 20 most
guys,
popular.
I really hope anybody watching this, I cannot stress it enough. Do not start your career by making long YouTube videos. Please, it will ruin your dream. There's no discoverability engine in this. This is only when you're big enough. For now, focus on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube
but then
Shorts.
again, this comes with caveats. For example, you could do long videos. For example, if you're a bunch of friends, you want to start a podcast, you could, but you optimized for short video output.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you optimize for. You could do long form video, but likelihood of success is very low.
Yeah.
You optimize for short video output.
Yes.
In fact, now a lot of people actually do podcasts very much keeping in mind that I'm actually not shooting a 2-hour podcast. I'm shooting 20 clips.
Yeah, that's fine.
You were saying? It's a very cliched thing, but be original is too cliched.
Yeah.
But I think a better way to say it is blind copying can only take you this far.
Yeah.
Blind copying can take you to a distance, but beyond that, you gotta have your own spin on it. Otherwise, it's not long lasting. Are still tougher because again you have one shot, right? It's great because it's on someone else's money, so that's always fun. Man, I feel for the the thing. I just want to take 1 second to speak about advertising. I have some controversial thoughts. A lot of uncles got very upset with what I did for credit. Not a lot, just a couple, I think. And they were messaging me saying, when uncles of an industry get upset at what you're doing, you've probably done something good. And I really laugh. Ads are interesting because your feedback loop is very rare. It's you make one, then you don't get to make another for a while. Like I remember speaking to copywriters who would die to get that one film out every year, right? Like that to me, that feedback loop is too small. You have to I think I spoke about this on Advertising is Dead. Your feedback loop has to be shorter. So if you don't have that at your job, find an alternative where you can keep refining your sense of judgment. I think the core skill here is judgment. Today, I think after making 200 odd videos, directing 100 of them, writing 50,000 tweets, making at least 30,000 Insta updates, like my judgment has become a lot more refined, which is it's the most leverage that you have. You can do that at scale, then you can make wealth. So I was drawing a parallel between YouTube and startups to a friend of mine the other day, right? Like on my YouTube, my goal is the number of bell icons should be very high. right? Number of bell icons are your like prosumers. They are fans of what you do. They'll latch on. They'll be the first users on every new feature. These, and to increase this, you usually do spikes, right? I will do a collab with someone, right? I will work with someone, or I'll do a special video that I build up to for days. These will be my spikes that bring in new users. A bunch of them will convert into bell icons. Then between two spikes will be waves, right? Which is, okay, new users have come. All right, let me just keep supplying them with content, keep them engaged until my next big spike. So on YouTube, when I'm operating, I'm like, all right, what is the big? Let me have 3 shots at spikes this month. By the way, spikes don't always work. They're attempts at having something travel. So every month I'm like, okay, once a week I need to have one shot at doing something big. Let's experiment. Let's do this. And then the rest of the time you do hygiene stuff. In fact, YouTube even has a model, Hero Hygiene Hub. I think that's what it's called. Which is interesting. I just came onto that a couple of days ago. But that's what I was doing naturally. So it makes sense that they literally said that. So yeah, so I like to. This is how I would measure. I would measure progress, at least on a YouTube channel. And I think there are parallels to be drawn even on a user on an app. Yeah,
draw those parallels because again there's actually so much similarity, whether you're a creator or you're a platform or whatever you are. So
so for an app, the spike could be a feature, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the like when I said I'm drawing a parallel, I mean drawing a parallel between a creator's YouTube channel and a brand's YouTube channel. I meant the general way of acquiring users. So sometimes for brands, they are features, right? Like Cred is a good example because RentPay is a big thing. RentPay brought me back to Cred. Like I wasn't really using Cred. The coins weren't of much value to me. I was the 1% on autopay of credit card bills, so I didn't need this. But RentPay really got me back again. I said, oh, this is cool. So sometimes features can act as that massive spike that you need. Sometimes collaborations can act as that. Yeah, that's one way of drawing the parallel. Yeah.
Got it. And when
with you, I went from making sketches to making vlogs. The only main thing that really stayed common was I was obsessed with the edit. Anything that's not interesting just goes out immediately. So the hit rate is the joke density per minute is still high. It says bang, 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 bang. So I can go from people were telling me saying, how come you're doing reaction videos now? I said, it's the most efficient way for me to output a video every day. If I sit down with another comic and I watch a video, I will give you 10 minutes of really good content if I shoot for 40 minutes. So the core fundamentals haven't changed. It's just cosmetic changes, if anything else. The principles are still the same, whether I'm doing a promotional video for AK versus AK, or I'm writing a roast, or I'm making a reaction video. The core just does not change. In fact, whether I'm giving to hosting Founders Forum or even at a live gig, the principles don't change, which is just give you no time to breathe. It's just constantly hitting your brain with what's the next thing.
Can we talk about that ad though? So what was the insight over there? It was also really interesting because there was no direct plugging in of Cred. There was no chat features or any of that. So let's talk about that ad, man, because again, fantastic work, was all over Twitter and was also done actually for a change, advertisements became interesting. Thanks to that one single ad. So talk about that and the process behind that.
Kunal called me at 2 a.m. and said, I need something by 11 a.m. tomorrow. You are presenting to my team. I said, okay, challenge accepted. No, but I think, like I said, I had a very tough year in 2019. I went to Bangalore. I spent a lot of time with folks in Bangalore, and Kunal was one of the people who was, just there for me. So I've been around with I've seen Cred, I've seen Kunal grow Cred, so I feel very personally towards what he and his team are doing, so I'm always available for them, right? So I kind of know the brand, and I kind of know the kind of guts Kunal has. See, this sort of advertising does not happen without really solid founders who are just like, go do your thing. The insight was nothing. I have a very simple philosophy to advertising, which is content first, right? So the way I'm not some genius or anything, but it's just a creator way of doing things, I think, which is slightly different, which is, hey, I'm getting this visual. This is a word that you'll often hear in a room if I'm ideating with you, which is the first instinct is to what is interesting. Let's go for what is interesting, then see how we can work around it, right? So with Cred also, the first thought I had was, hey, Kunal, what if we reject celebrities for an ad? And what if we reject many of them? Would that be crazy? Kunal was like, go on. And I said, imagine we do, someone is performing, and because we're doing it during the IPL, let's make it music. Because if we're going to have play it many, many times, it's got to be catchy. It's got to be something that you don't mind listening to multiple times. So let's think of a 90s, music superstar. So that's how we first came to this thought. And I said, there's someone is performing, and we reject it. And the campaign will be successful because of the audacity of doing it first. Second is you're going to be doing it multiple times over 1 month. So it will be sustained. Over a period of time, people will be like, who is next, right? That will happen. And Kunal just loved it immediately. So the campaign thought came from these two things, audacity and skill. If we do it multiple times, it will become interesting, and you do a new thing each time. We got Ayyappa on board. AIB worked with Ayyappa on Government. Ayyappa never does celebrity films, but I said, here they're taking the mickey out of themselves, and he was like, I'm on board for this. And we did it, and it was great. Zero client interference. If anything, they just added to the film. Right? Creators usually, the best ones, usually have created multiple feedback loops for themselves. What that does is there's room to constantly do new stuff, which means you're always in the zone, you're always creating, you're open to ideas. That becomes tougher when you aren't doing any of that, when you don't have multiple avenues to create. So that's why I think more and more marketing people should actively be creating, just because it opens your mind up and you're not blocked to more ideas. That's what I would say.
Why is Zomato so top of mind today? Because of consistency since day one. Akshar Pathak was part of one of the earliest founding teams at Zomato. He's been there for years. He left and he came back to Zomato. What does that tell you? If you have that one person from early days, is when your brand can truly... 2 campaigns are not going to make your brand. 3 campaigns are not going to make your brand. You have to be consistently on it for years. Yeah. The early days used to be like a big leverage was capital. Today a big leverage is attention. Correct. And I think it's time that CMOs need to make way for like MBAs need to make way for eccentric artists to come in and be like, we are part of this. Because artists are obsessed with detail. It's that sort of stuff that really over a long term it makes an impact. I think at a VC level, every time a VC is funding a startup, they should if there was a Yellow Pages book of 1,000 copywriters, each of whom had given a copy test that you could access immediately, I would suggest every VC to look at a founder or 2 founders, be like, hire one of these creative guys now, make them a part of all your decision making now, because it will pay off in 2 years. Instead of just working on product, instead of just doing this and then eventually going to an agency and being like, ab tum log campaign banao. It's too late. By then it's too late. This is what Kunal also says a lot. Yeah. He's like, fill your company with artists, because then your product will become an art piece. Correct. The sentence that Kunal uses often is, find people in your team who know how to get applause from an audience. Oh, some of the myths. People think, this one is like, people think virality is
a scientific process
It's
that
a
can be bought by money.
yeah. I'm like,
एक viral video बना देना.
एक viral video बना देना. People assume that. People also, they don't take enough shots. Like how do I say? Consistent virality is a product of taking many shots of things that didn't go viral, right? I keep saying this to every founder also. You need to make your feedback loop faster. You need to do, if you're going to do 3 big campaigns a year, you need to do 15 small shit for you to eventually be like, this is where I put my money in. It's like when I'm thinking of a stand-up set, right? What I do is I tweet 5 things, I'll Instagram story 10 things, and then I'll be like, is this worth talking about? Is this thing worth spending time with? So it's the same for brand positioning also. Like if you're going to take 3 years finalizing what your next venture is going to be, you are talking to 500 people to do that, right? So to recognize what your brand is going to be, you also need to do a lot of things. But the other things is the people don't care about you as much as you think they do. They don't. They are scrolling and you come and you do your thing. Nobody cares about you. You have to do things for people to care. So if you're too afraid to do things, people will not care. It's better to be hated than to not be worthy of being hated.
Got it.
Once you're hated, it can be turned into being loved quickly.
Acha.
This is an emotional country, right? Anyway, core thesis being, if you are being hated is better than not being worthy of being hated. What this means is being hated is if there is outrage about your brand, it only means your brand is something that people think will get them attention by outraging. That's not a bad thing.
Sure.
Okay. You are what the last news cycle is. But you need to have the confidence to know कि ये जाएगा और अगला वाला आएगा. So if brands operate this way, then they can be a little more fearless. This is my general thesis on this.
Sure.
Depends on what brand you are and at what stage of growth that you are at also. If there's a lot at stake, maybe be a little careful. Yeah. I would say if you're completely unknown, if there is something that blows up about you, relax. Don't worry. You can fix it. Yeah. This is a country that will...
shortest memory possible.
Shortest memory. I mean, that's not this country specific, but it's an emotional country, right? When a country reacts emotionally, when a country gets offended very easily, when a country it's a sign of insecurity, and when you get really offended, you're showing, here are all my buttons that you can press to get an emotional reaction out of me.
True.
So then you know what buttons you can press to get them to start loving you also.
I think in the future, creators will be marketing folks. Right? It's already slowly happening in America. Creators who couldn't get your 10 million following end up getting a marketing job. Purely because marketing professionals' job is either to create something that gets applause from an audience or to recognize something that will get applause.
Correct.
And anybody who has kinesthetic learning, which is has done it, has worked, has sat down, their judgment will be sharper, right? Essentially, a marketing professional is getting paid to do what? For the judgment.
Yeah.
Which is this
what will get someone's attention?
What will work? What will get someone's attention? Is this worth the money? Is there a smarter way to get this? And anybody who has been a creator would have better judgment on top of it. Kunal Shah puts this really well. His whole company is filled with engineers, product guys, marketing guys, all of whom are part-time creators. Some poets, comedians, they're in a band.
Yeah.
That's why the product is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because anything bad, you can't. The creators in the room won't lie. They won't say this is great because they just know when something is great.
Yeah.
So I think if you're a brand and if you're not filling your marketing team with creators, you should fill them with creators. I mean, a good example is look at Zomato, right? Look at Akshar Pathak.
Yeah.
Why is Zomato so fantastic? It's because Akshar Pathak is putting up 10 posts on his Instagram every day. It's what keeps his brain fueled. So when he's creating for Zomato, he knows what creative will work because he's done it for himself.
Yeah.
So you know this. So I work with One Hand Clap, which is run by Akash Shah and his team. Every single person in that team has 10,000 followers on Instagram. Every single person. So naturally, the stuff that they make for the brand will be of a certain quality because they're just used to
They understand culture. They understand what works in that
what
space.
works. They understand what will get double taps. They just get it.
So this is one thing that I think brands need to seriously think about when you're hiring your marketing team. Like, and I don't want to diss MBAs. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I wish in MBA schools they would also teach creation. I wish they did that.
Yeah.
Because when you
They might just have to now.
Yeah, because when you Varun, because a team with creative professionals and a J type, right? The J type is what your MBA is unbeatable, right? Especially if they respect the J type. If the J type has enough control over the team, is unbeatable. Like, it's one of the,
because he or she can put structure around it.
man, structure with enthusiasm is unbeatable. So I think that's what brands need to look at, because just maximum energy is wasted in, like, the best brand managers are people that I've spoken to where I get on a call, hey, देख मैं ये करेगा, सही है करते, boom, just got it instantly.
Correct.
It's happened with a couple of companies in Bangalore with people either that I know or have been creators themselves. Just spot a great idea and then just the speed of execution becomes faster.
Sketches, तेरे sketches, brother. ठीक है? Everything by Key and Peele, must watch. This is the most basic. If you don't watch Key and Peele, just don't watch anything. This is a very unknown. It's a show called UK Sketch Show. Very fun show. Very small gags, but very fun. Very bingeable. If you can find anything from the Great Indian Comedy Show, it was a huge inspiration. Okay, Desi sketches, that was one of the first things that I had really enjoyed. And I don't know if the newer folks will like Monty Python. I don't know if it's their thing, but you should check out Monty Python because that's where a lot of the sketches originated from. If you watch all of this, enough good shit will start coming into your YouTube recommendation feed. I like YouTube. I like the YouTube algorithm for this shit because YouTube generally understands you as a person and will just start sending more stuff to you. I think Ryan Higa was one of the first YouTubers who started doing sketches. So a lot of the old Ryan Higa stuff is really fun. I love old Jasreen sketches. Jasreen thoda teda tha, unlike the other guy. He was a little off. So I love
What
that.
happened to him? Like, मेरे को एकदम से याद है, fuck, Jasreen भी तो था. Where is he?
Just went off the radar, no? Dude, I get it, man. Like, after a time, it's like YouTube and creating content is a treadmill. Okay. So unless you truly are in the zone, you don't want to keep going. If I was post-economic, what would I do? This is a question I keep asking myself. If you're post-economic, what would you do? I think I would still make content. Like, just last night I was telling Aishwarya, okay, I was like, Aishwarya, just then YouTube ad revenue ka pressure chala jaye na. The first thing I'll do is just use movie songs. I'll just use pop culture songs in all my vlogs. Dobrik does this, right? David Dobrik ke vlogs mein wo randomly ekdam classic gana baja dega. Just say everything feels larger than life all of a sudden. Because movies are larger than life in our head, so songs are overly dramatic. So if you use that, shit gets elevated and that makes you feel something when you're watching it. So that's the first thing I would do. I would be like, cool, I don't have the worry of rent and this and that and all. कि हर महीना YouTube revenue से खर्चा निकल जाएगा, वो तो नहीं रहेगा, अभी कुछ भी बनाते हैं.
I was watching, Rogan talk to the folks who do the Your Mama's House podcast, and they're basically all comedians talk and getting very nerdy about comedy. And they talked about the amount of work it takes to get like a tight 10-minute set.
It is
right?
a lot of work,
like
yeah.
basically dying in various open mics and riffing and tightening the beats, tightening everything. And one of the things that is interesting about what you do is you exist in various modalities, right? You're doing stand-up, right? Which you've rehearsed and, you have the set, the audience. It's like pro wrestling. It's like, you know what you're doing. You exist in these semi-scripted environments. You're on TV, which we want to talk about, and various kinds. Then you exist on a lot on live stream, where you're reacting. I am curious about how similar are the skills and preparation and how different are they for each modality?
Man, that's super interesting. First of all, again, I come back to the principles of making content, whether it's live, whether it's improvising something, whether it's scripted, whether it's stand-up, the core principles remain the same. So in fact, I'm working on a talk right now. It's not quite there yet. I'm working on a talk about content creation and pattern matching, right? Content creation is nothing but brain manipulation at the end of the day. If you're able to manipulate someone's brain, you can do it real time, you can do it scripted, you can do it in 15 different ways. The basic principles that I use is creating patterns and breaking them. For example, what does Mr. Beast do? Mr. Beast creates a pattern by saying,
one person is going to win this island out of 100, right? So there's a certain expectation that is set, and then every few minutes he's going to break it. There'll be a surprise wild thing. Some person gets eliminated for a reason you didn't think. A new person shows up. It's just creating an expectation and constantly surprising you. When I would live stream, I would probably know that, okay, if I want to keep this interesting, I need to get the audience to watch till the end. Same way like a regular video would. So
Right.
probably design it in that way, which is at the end of this live stream, there's going to be a dare for the person who loses. Like, Shri, if me and you were supposed to play FIFA, it's going to be a best of 10, where at the end of it, whoever loses is going to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So the principles don't change. Similarly in stand-up, right? Like Dave Chappelle has a special where at the beginning of the special, he says one really interesting line, and then he says, this will make sense to you at the end of the special.
Yes.
Right? Which is
Like a
creating
retention
anticipation.
hook. Yeah.
Creating anticipation and then delivering on it, creating a pattern and then repeating the pattern. That kind of makes the brain feel good. Some of these
By the way, for
principles-
folks watching this show, you will not believe the last question I'm going to ask Tanmay at the very, very end. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so that kind of stuff doesn't change. It applies everywhere.
Yeah.
So when I started live streaming, a lot of comedians on the scene were like, so you quit comedy now? You know, you're not a comedian anymore. And I was like, I think the same parts of my brain enjoy itself as I would be doing stand-up. So
Yeah.
I just, during the pandemic, I just streamed for 2 years. I didn't really do stand-up at all.
Yeah.
And I had a ball. I was like, actually, all of these mediums, it's the same thing. It's just there's some sense of purity attached to one person being on stage. Whereas I'm like, streaming is the same thing, but there's 100,000 people there. It's
Then
basically
I
the
have to
same thing.
say, I wanted to ask you about the
But I think now it's important that people become self-aware the most. This is what younger generation में यही बोलता हूँ कि self-aware होना बहुत जरूरी है. आप हर अपने action को, if you can just think कि मैंने ये क्यों किया, मेरी ये feeling क्यों आ रही है, अगर आपकी जल रही है, मैं क्यों जल रहा हूँ, अगर आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है, मुझे क्यों गुस्सा आ रहा है. So whenever someone young tells me saying I'm anxious, I'm depressed, etc., I'm like, just take 20 minutes out in the whole day, keep your phone away and just journal your thoughts. Because दिख जाएगा सब कुछ. आपके सारे बिखरे हुए ना, oh shit, आज मैंने चार लोगों के बारे में बुरी चीजें सोची. क्यों? What's the common thing? Oh, they're all doing very well. Because nobody hates on someone not doing as well as them. Like if I sit and hate on my, say, watchman, like what sort of pathetic loser am I? I can only hate on, someone, I can only hate on Ambani. Because I want to be him. Who is sitting here fucking like मेरा दूध वाला है, कोई नहीं बोल रहा है ऐसा. आप hate किसे कर रहे हो? Some influencer who's leading a great life. Especially male children, जिन पे दुनिया में कुछ बनने का बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर है. People don't often talk about masculinity issues. But जो लड़के एग्जाम का प्रेशर क्यों है? उनका पूरी फैमिली क्यों एग्जाम का प्रेशर डाल रही है? कि तू घर का चिराग है. We expect you to be something. That's also pressure. Just like girls have their own pressure, boys have their own pressure. And being exposed to social media and getting angry, I feel bad for them because I'm like, you don't know how to deal. Like there are some guys who message me incessantly every day, violent physical threats. I'm like, you're going through something that you're going to do something to someone at some point, and I feel bad for you because you don't know how to deal with your insecurity. Learn, no, Matthew, in the sense that, like, I'll give you an example. Today when I saw Bassi, right? There's two ways you can deal with jealousy or insecurity. Either you can sit and wallow in it and feel angry, or you can learn and turn that anger into fuel to do something else. So whenever I see someone killing it, like I love Bassi and what he's doing. Every time I spend 10 minutes around him, I'm like, Bassi, आप ये कैसे करते हो? आप ये कैसे करते हो? क्योंकि बैठ के jealous होने से कोई फायदा नहीं है. 15 मिलियन आ गए, amazing, kill कर रहा है. You have two ways. Either be angry at him and be at an open mic and crib about him, which a lot of kids do. ये तो funny नहीं है यार. अरे story सुनाना थोड़ी stand up हो गया. Or you can be like, what did you do here? Why did you do it? And I think the desperation to be successful is given more effort than to learn about something far deeper and then create out of it.